I am dangerous.
Streaming live from hitthatline.com.
I hit the 7-iron like John Daly hits the 3.
This is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson.
You just gotta keep living, man.
And Tommy Kraft.
We follow orders or people die. Are we clear?
The Morning Rush starts right now.
Yes, sir.
So we had Dave Van Horn on with us in April 2021. That was a great question Clay asked him about just the state of the athletics department right now. And Dave Van Horn was almost advocating for Hunter Yurachek to get a raise then. Well, it looks like he's finally getting one. Now, it's got to be ratified by the Board of Trustees coming up March 16th and 17th. But it looks like, based on what you see, that Hunter Yurachek's going to get a nice extension, a nice raise from his under $1 million salary. Now he's going to be making over that. That's a big deal to lock down Hunter Yurachek, who has had a instrumental part in what's been going on with Arkansas athletics these last couple of years. Eric Musselman previewing Alabama yesterday, getting ready for the Crimson Tide tomorrow. We'll have pregame coverage beginning right here, 10:30 a.m. The game tips off at 11 here on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. Super Bowl Sunday quickly approaching. Hope you have stocked up with snacks and food that day. And you also can't forget that Valentine's Day. I really hope that a lot of men don't screw themselves over and forget about the more important day, I would think, the next couple days when it comes to their marriage, their relationship, and everything else moving forward. You should tell your wife that Super Bowl Sunday is more important.
She wouldn't care. You'll figure that out. So when you've got about 18 years under you, she won't care. I mean, let's just I won't buy her anything. She won't buy me anything. We'll just move on down the road. You know what she likes? She you know what when I say the turtles, the little chocolate turtles. It's a candy.
Yes.
She loves those because her grandmother used to buy them for her when she was a kid. So they're
that's
sentimental
sweet
to her. So I may go buy a box. So usually they have like a heart-shaped box filled with just those. Maybe I'll find one of those for her. But and then I'll eat about half of them. So that's how that works.
You'll take them from her?
Yeah.
So y'all are.
She'll share them with me. That's the way I'll see it.
Y'all are going to Branson this weekend. You're going to be gone on Monday and getting ready for a fun weekend, Valentine's Day weekend. So you're at least putting some thought and effort into your significant other this weekend. That's
just me. A lot of thought and a lot of effort. That's how you'll sum me up someday. Thought and effort. So, yeah, I am looking forward to a fun weekend. Hogs play early. Super Bowl Sunday. We're trying to figure out where we are going to be. I am going to be gone Monday. So I was like, hey, let's, because Branson's not really the place you go and sit and watch a game, somewhere. But so we're trying to figure out those plans, how we're going to watch the game, because she is interested in seeing the commercials. Like a lot of the ladies will be around the various Super Bowl parties, as the commercials will be the hit of the night. So.
I'm always a big fan of the Budweiser, Clydesdale, and Little Pup commercials. I think those were great. Pepsi had some good commercials back in the day. Not that they have a great product, but they at least have great commercials. You know what would put Hunter, and I saw this the other day, and I can't think of who it was, and I want to make sure I give credit to whoever it is. What would put Hunter Yurachek in legendary status? Well, he'll never surpass Frank Broyles, but if he gets a Coke contract, game over.
I saw someone else put that on
I'm
Twitter.
not going to take credit for that. I know someone said, I just can't think of who it is, but that would be, and it's not going to happen because Pepsi's paying Arkansas.
It's not an athletic department deal. It's a university deal.
But they would credit.
Everybody thinks Jeff Long did that. He didn't have a thing to do with getting rid of it or getting Pepsi.
They just blame.
But we blame him for it.
They blame Jeff Long for it, and they credit Hunter Yurachek for it. But it's pretty cool to see where Arkansas athletics. Here's a stat for you this morning. I want to talk about this with Clay coming up. In the last 400 days, Arkansas is 136-22 at home in football, basketball, men and women, baseball, softball, and soccer. 136-22. Arkansas has a really intimidating, hostile environment in baseball and basketball. We know that. Football was this year because your team was good. Softball had a really salty team. The soccer has a really good team under Colby Hale. That doesn't include the track and field program, which we know is a nationally competitive and vying for a national championship every single year. It's a fun time to be on campus. I was telling a senior buddy of mine who's up there now, I was like, dude, you don't realize how good you have it. Athletics were trash during my 4 years in college. We had a college World Series, we had a round of 32, and we had a football team that went 8-5. That was the pinnacle of Arkansas athletics when I was in school.
The thing with extending Hunter Yurachek more years on his contract, a couple of things here. Remember, they don't have a acting chancellor or a permanent chancellor in place. They're still in that transition, right? If I missed something, I believe that's right, because Daniel Bobbitt got this deal done, who's the systems board president. So that's great and tells you what the top end of the administration, the very peaks of the university system administration, think about Hunter Yurachek. This is overdue getting his deal done. But here's the most important thing. Say what you want about me, but if someone replaced me and I was no longer here and you had a new boss, that would make everyone apprehensive. I'm at least the devil you know, right? Same thing with Hunter Yurachek and all of these other coaches. Anybody want Dave to leave? Anybody want Musselman to leave? Anybody want Pittman to leave? Anybody want Neighbors to leave? They're all comfortable with who their boss is. I'm sure there's things they like, things they don't like, things they would want they're not getting, blah, blah, blah. But they're comfortable. And in a lot of cases, he hired some of these guys. When the boss changes, that leads to transition always in one or more of your sports. Now, Dave's been there a long time, but I think what it does more than anything is it gives you some sense of comfort and insurance, or however you want to, what adjective you want to use, that, hey, that creates stability with your four major programs up there. And I think that's the thing about keeping your AD in place, is you're probably not going to have one of your main head coaches leaving anytime soon because they're disgruntled with their work environment. And
I think you were asking, you said there was or wasn't an interim chancellor.
There's an interim chancellor, but I'm saying generally, in these situations, the permanent chancellor would have been the one to handle these deals. They got it done.
Why haven't they made a move? Because Charles Robinson has been the interim since August. Why haven't they made a move and hired someone yet? It's February. That's 5 months.
Don't know.
Right?
I mean, I can't answer that, but I would imagine hiring a chancellor there's a little more involved, a little more things involved, and I don't know the answer to that, other than just you're probably going through a lot of research, a lot of due diligence to vet those candidates. And do you want to make a transition during an academic year or not? I don't have a feel for what that process is like hiring a chancellor at the University of Arkansas in Fayetteville.
You also need to make sure, whoever that is, that there's cohesion between him and Hunter, because there wasn't between John and Frank, John White and Frank Broyles. That the whole thing exploded.
Because Frank had all the power in everything, and Hunter doesn't have the level of control that Frank had.
Whoever you bring in, you just need to make sure that those two individuals, Hunter Yurachek and, again, the incoming one, can work together. Because there seems to be, I don't know.
But that's all we focus on. We don't think about really what's more important to the people that are on that board, and that's the academic side. And we only focus on the athletic.
Yeah, but the athletic side is going really well right now, so you don't want to put some
right.
turmoil into that right at this point.
All right, Football Friday. I guess this is our last Football Friday because there's no football after this weekend. So, let's all soak it up and enjoy it. It's brought to you by Baxter Regional Medical Center. If you're looking for more than just a job, Baxter Regional Medical Center can assist you in becoming an EMT or a paramedic. If you have the passion to help others and you want to be in a great environment where you're involved with a team and learn from the best, here's your chance. You can be an EMT or a paramedic in just 1 to 4 semesters and get your complete certification or degree without student loan debt. So if you're looking for more than just a job, Baxter Regional Medical Center has your opportunity right now. Call 870-508-1883. That's 508-1883, or log on to baxterregional.org for more information.
When we come back, let's talk about the Super Bowl this weekend. The Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Los Angeles Rams.
Just say, Alexa, play ESPN Arkansas.
ESPN Arkansas from TuneIn.
Hey, this is Billy Ray Smith Jr., and you're listening to...
When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit, is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Now that's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
The phrase in dire straits originated in the 1400s from sailors having to carefully navigate their vessels through narrow passages to avoid a shipwreck. So Far Away from Dire Straits is a song lamenting the struggle of a long-distance relationship over the phone. Mark Knopfler said, "It's a joke. It can't really be done over a long period of time because you both get exhausted with it. Sin has put us in dire straits with God, and that's why he feels so far away." Jesus said the passage to God is a narrow way, and he promised when he went so far away, the Holy Spirit would be here to stay. This isn't some hunch or intuition, but a conviction navigating you to God's holy word. When you have a real relationship with God, you have the person of the Spirit living inside you, guiding your walk of life every step of the way. Don't trust your feelings. Look up John chapter 16 and see if it sends you reeling. I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Read about it.
BetOnline has you covered for all the holiday season. More props, odds, and lines than ever before. BetOnline remains your number one spot for all sports action. Head to our new updated desktop or
$1,000 upgrade, you get it free when you call right now at Burton Pools and Spas. Save $5,000 and get a free upgrade this month at Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith, and always online at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas, they are your source for backyard fun.
Needing your roof repaired? Ramos Roofing is a local company that has over 25 years of experience, specializing in your residential or commercial roofing needs in the Oklahoma area. Ramos Roofing, a company you can trust, offering discounts to senior citizens, law enforcement, or healthcare workers, and assists in your insurance claims. Ramos Roofing, standing behind their work so you can stand under it. Call 479-420-9903. That's 420-9903. Ramos Roofing, working with you to build a better home.
I told you that front tire needed air.
I know, Dad.
Where's the tire iron? I told you, always keep a tire iron in a jack.
I know, Dad. I got it. Roadside assistance is included with my shelter insurance auto policy. It's one of the reasons you told me to get it, remember?
Maybe you do listen after all.
At Shelter, listening to you is what we do best.
Ask Shelter agents Randy Milam or Brad Howe about a free insurance review.
Here's an awesome addition to your toolbox at an amazing price, whether you're a do-it-yourselfer or pro. Right now, Metters Lumber True Value has the DeWalt 37-piece screwdriving set for just $14.99. The tough snap-close case holds a wide assortment of bits and nut drivers for almost any project on your list. Each bit is cut from shock-resistant tool steel, and the snub-nose design fits perfectly into hex socket adapters. Head over to Metters Lumber True Value to save on this bargain of the month now, while supplies last.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Good morning to the Morning Rush, everybody.
They want him to foul now. They got to. Oh, Likes is going to shoot a three, and he buried it. Oh, my gosh. I don't think Muss would have let him into the locker room if he'd missed that shot, but he buried it. Hogs are up by 7.
Did you miss a segment or interview during the show? Find it in the Bud Light Next Morning Rush podcast. Just search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts.
So CJ Uzama has promised that if the Cincinnati Bengals win, he's going to take a chili bath in the famous Skyline chili. Now, Phil calls it meat goop. He says it's not even.
I've never had the Skyline chili.
I haven't either.
But I know that in Ohio and that part, that's a
huge thing.
Because it's not just like a brand or a box. I think you can do that, but it's a restaurant, right?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Skyline, is it Skyline Cafes?
Skyline Chili.
I know, but are they part of it? I'm not the restaurant chain, but I know the Skyline Chili is like it's a big brand in that part of the country.
They just it's literally just called Skyline Chili, but I want to go.
I'm not familiar.
I want to go at some point. I've never been to Cincinnati. I don't think I've ever.
Is that the one that has like sugar in the chili or something? I remember Phil talking about it one day, and the recipe's even a lot more different than what you'd see in Texas or the pot of chili you may be making this weekend.
I just want to try it just to say I've had it. Phil rips it. I remember asking him on halftime one time, and he just ripped it to shreds. But I do want to, at some point, try it. I need to make my way up to Ohio for a football or basketball game.
Is chili the number one Super Bowl party food?
I'm a big sausage balls guy on that, but I love chili dogs.
That's not surprising.
We're having.
I mean, it just seems like chili for chili dogs, bowl of chili, Frito chili pie. I mean, you can do so many things with it. It seems like every time I go to a big watch party, particularly a Super Bowl, chili is somewhere on the smorgasbord.
We are
just for that reason.
Pizza, wings, cookies. There's That's what we got, and I bet there'll be someone who'll bring some chili. So bring some chili as well.
Yeah. So should be fun. That's the only problem. I'm still a big advocate of Super Bowl Saturday. I wish we had it, but I guess we'd have to shut down. We think about that, but then we'd have to shut down all of the college basketball everybody'd have to play early that day. Everybody have to get out of the way for the Super Bowl to be on a Saturday, but I'm still a big advocate of that.
It's what you say that people work on Saturday. That's why they want the monopoly on Sunday.
And then all the other sports that are played. I mean, retail business is still a big deal. It's tradition. There's a lot of excuses, but it would enhance and enrich our lives if we could move it to Saturday. Without question. We're brought to you by Farm Credit this morning. You know, in addition to farms and livestock and homes, Farm Credit can help you finance that recreational land that you've always wanted. They have a new loan product that makes financing all sizes of hunting tracts quick and easy. They understand that hunting and fishing and enjoying time with your family to ride ATVs and whatever is just part of what we love to do on weekends, and having that land in your family is special to each and every one of you that do. Contact your local Farm Credit office and let them help you finance that hunting and fishing and recreational land you've always wanted before the next deer or turkey season roll around. Go to myaglender.com to find a location near you. That's myaglender.com for Farm Credit.
A really good story I saw on NPR that there are 3 friends that started a Super Bowl tradition 55 years ago where they attend every game. Tom Henschel, Gregory Eaton, and Don Chrisman. They started during the AFL-NFL World Championship, again, 55 years ago. They're all in their 80s. This is probably going to be their last one because of their age. But I think about traditions with sports. The Washington State flag on College game day, where they send it around the country, they mail it, and whoever's the closest fan in that group goes to College game day that week. I've actually met those people. They're pretty cool to talk to. But this is a tradition that's pretty awesome. Imagine going, and I know you and I both agreed that Super Bowl is not the number one sporting event on our bucket list. It's probably not even in the top 3. But that is, I think, an awesome story that these guys have been doing it for so long.
My first thought is, how did you manage to get tickets every year? I mean, and I know some of these events you can get on the season ticket list, but you think about policy changes, administration changes within the NFL, the way that event has grown to be able to just get access to the tickets for those guys for this. And I've heard this story before. I think it may be this same group. I think there's one of the original group that may not be with them. It may not be this one, but I've heard this story in the past because guys in groups like this have been honored before. But you just think, how in the world do you manage still in today's time where we know what the secondary market's doing with Super Bowl tickets this year? How do you manage to stay on that list to get your tickets every year?
Maybe the NFL has granted them some tickets, something like that. I don't know. I know in certain situations, maybe they're quote-unquote grandfathered in with the same price. Like, you think about, I know some seasons.
Well, I mean, even if you paid face value, we could all find a way to budget and get us a face value Super Bowl ticket.
Yeah.
But wouldn't you be tempted this year in particular that if you had a face value ticket, because all the players, get a ticket to the Super Bowl, this would be the year you'd want to slide that thing over on StubHub or Vivid Seats or somewhere with the prices, the stupid prices they're paying out there.
You think they're allowed to do that? The players,
no,
I don't know.
Here's the way Brett has explained it to me. They get the tickets they're allotted as players in the league, and you sell them
2
for
or 4.
I think I think it's 2, but
okay.
The thing you do is you slide those over to your brother. Your brother, you gave them to your brother, and then what your brother does with them is his business. That's how that deal works.
How much do you think a face value ticket is relative to what they're selling for? Because
I think probably face value is
$400.
Oh no! I would take $1,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they're selling for 3 or 4?
25, 30,
25, 30 grand. Man,
Yeah.
I have not been on StubHub and seen
Yeah,
those tickets.
I've seen the screenshots. I mean, there's some that are in the 30,000s that depend on where you want to sit. I mean, if you work for
That's
Pepsi,
a house payment, or that's a house or down payment,
and then some. Yeah, I mean, yeah. You got the computer in front of you. Pull up Vivid Seats Super Bowl or SeatGeek or any. It doesn't matter. Yeah, I've seen screenshots all week of just the ticket price. So I mean, it's just ridiculous this year because it's in L.A. There's a ton of people with just stupid money. The home team or the area team is in it. Just the ticket market this year has just went crazy.
I think the most I've ever spent on a ticket, it's probably been like $125, $150, and that was excruciating.
I've bought some concert tickets and different ones that had a higher face than that, but I've never spent $500. I've never spent $1,000. There's never been anything I wanted to see that bad. I mean, if I could buy a ticket today for the Super Bowl for $1,000, but I couldn't resell it, I'm out. I mean, I'm not interested in going to the Super Bowl enough that I would even spend $1,000 if I had to go. If I spent it,
the cheapest ticket right now is going for $2,700. So add $300.
But you don't want the cheap. What's the top end going for?
Scroll that down. Yeah. It's probably but there's a good chunk that are in the 2,000 range. I don't know.
Earlier this week, there were a lot that, and last week that were not.
I'm curious how much the players are getting. Well, my guess is you were seeing tickets that people were trying to get in absorbent amounts for. There are tickets, so I'd say 200,000. Of course, this computer's freezing up on me, but yeah, tickets are expensive, man.
This isn't, but it's not just a game you're going to. This is an event. This is the ultimate look at me. This is the ultimate, place to be seen at as the Super Bowl, right? This is the ultimate red carpet event, and now you couple that with Hollywood, and this is exactly why all the celebrities and the superstars got to be there.
They go as high as $200,000.
There you go. That's the one you should buy right there. So. Where do you sit for $200,000 real quick?
I would think sidelines.
Okay, so I would
have to.
I would think I'd be in the coaching box for $200,000. Yeah. Hey, don't miss the game this weekend with World of Wireless and Dish. All the local channels are back. No issue there. Whole home DVR, HD in every room. It's a free weekend coming up that includes a $100 Visa gift card. Free upgrades on the remotes to the voice-activated remotes. That is the way to go. You can hit a button for Google, and you can voice text into the remote exactly what you're searching for. Tons of free extras. It's a free weekend with World of Wireless. 877-305-DISH. Call WOW now.
Also want to touch on what Eric Musselman had to say about Alabama coming up on the Morning Rush.
Listen to every Razorback football game this season right here and hitthatline.com.
Standard Materials Group has immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you have a CDL license without an automatic restriction and want to be home every night, want to work with a company that offers great pay, benefits, and a great team environment with growth opportunity, apply today at jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
This is Bruce Stanton, Vice President and General Manager of Pradco Fishing in Fort Smith. Our #1 volume lure out of our 20 fishing brands is the Bobby Garland Baby Shad. We make them by the millions in our facility in Fort Smith, and the Baby Shad is without a doubt the #1 soft plastic crappie lure in the U.S. Fish it on a live jig head or underneath a float, and you'll find it's as productive as live bait. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Bobby Garland Baby Shad.
The temperatures may be cooling down, but at Wheels RV in Northwest Arkansas, the deals are still red hot. Whether you are enjoying one of over 50 state parks or tailgating with your favorite team, Wheels has the right RV to help you enjoy fall in the natural state. And at Wheels RV, every new unit comes with a lifetime warranty. So get out to Wheels and see why they were voted best RV dealership in Northwest Arkansas. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Mosquitoes, bedbugs, termites, are they biting around your home? Well, fight that bite by calling Tri-Hill Turf and Pest Control. 782-0404. We've been servicing the River Valley since 1986. Termite inspections, all at an affordable price, and all estimates are free. Give us a call at Tri-Hills, 479-782-0404.
Harry Robinson Buick GMC is the River Valley's truck superstore. No one has a bigger selection of new and pre-owned trucks. If you need a regular cab work truck, Harry has them, and the biggest selection you'll find anywhere. Over 60 full-size pre-owned trucks are in stock now, and over 250 pre-owned vehicles are on the lot. And for the first time in 90 days, new 2021 trucks are on the ground. When the other dealers don't have it, Harry does. The area's truck superstore, Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer opens like every other seltzer, pours like every other seltzer, but it's not like every other seltzer. USDA certified organic, no added sugar, and low cal, so you've never seen another seltzer quite like it. And with new refreshing flavors like black cherry and watermelon strawberry, you've never tasted one like it either. Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer, as real as it tastes. Enjoy responsibly, not a low-calorie food. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer, IRC Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Did you invest in real estate only to find out that real estate takes up too much of your time? If you answered yes, then it's time to make a call to the experts. With more than 30 years of combined property management experience and more than 16,000 units managed, Trinity Multifamily are the ones to call. Get your life back. Call Trinity Multifamily at 479-452-1817 or online at trinitymultifamily.com. Trinity Multifamily, your teammate in the real estate game.
Inventory shortage? Not here. Wheeler Power Sports has its own showroom packed with brand new units. They have a great selection of Kawasaki bikes featuring the Ninja Z900, the KLR 650, and the Ninja 400. Wheeler Power Sports has everyone covered for all ages and all the gear and protection to keep them safe. Looking for that side-by-side or ATV for this spring? Wheeler Power Sports has the best in-stock selection in the area, and they can special order to fulfill your need. Wheeler Power Sports, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
Have your travel plans changed? Looking for a place that's close to home and keep your family safe? Gaston's White River Resort is located on the beautiful White River. They offer private accommodations in their lodges and cabins. Most cabins have a fully equipped kitchen or let their restaurant staff deliver to your cabin. Call 870-431-5202 and change your plans to Gaston's White River Resort. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time every time.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about? A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
Spring crappie season is not far away, and Jelco Outdoors is stocked up on all the fishing gear you need for the spring season. Timmy Tom jigs, Redneck Rubber, and Bobby Garland baits, K9 fishing line, Todd Huckabee rods, Shimano, Lew's, Zebco, and Abu Garcia reels. Just arrived, the all-new JB3 American-made rods. Get ready for spring fishing at Jelco Outdoors, your store for work and the great outdoors. Shop local. Shop Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Crabb.
Williams throws over it to Wade. Wade's going to try a three from the right wing, and he buried it.
Have you listened to Trusting the Process on the Hit That Line podcast network yet? Check it out on hitthatline.com or search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts.
Let's hear what Eric Musselman had to say about Alabama coming up. Also want to bring you two tidbits this morning. One from the game on Tuesday night. How many people you sucked in TV-wise is an incredible number. And the dollars distributed from the Southeastern Conference in 2021. The number just keeps on growing.
Hey, we are brought to you this morning by World of Wireless. Not World of Wireless, I just said that. We're brought to you by Wheels RV. 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Hey, every new RV, I was by and saw Chris the other day and Lee J 2 days ago, and the selection is incredible right now at Wheels. You've probably been other places. They don't have what you're looking for. They got top quality RVs and travel trailers that you can shop the selection right now and get that lifetime warranty on every unit they sell at Wheels RV. So stop in and see them 5 miles west of exit 72. They are ever growing. They got more room for storage now. They got more room for service. They have got more selection up front for you to look at, and they'll give you top dollar for your trade as well. It's all at Wheels RV. Again, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, and discover with Wheels RV.
We know that Arkansas has really picked up its defense in the last 9 games, and what they started doing in the SEC relative to what they're doing now in this 9-game winning streak, it is night and day. Here's what Eric Musselman said about that yesterday.
We knew that, 6 weeks ago before we got into SEC play, we knew that we had to make not just, small leaps defensively, but we had to make major leaps defensively. And we've done that. And I think teams that have played against us and people that have watched our games that I have good, incredible respect for, that are in the coaching profession, maybe at the NBA level, or could be an NBA front office person that I've taught. Like, everyone's noticed how hard our guys are playing. And the first thing usually that's being identified right now with our team is our defense.
They held a really talented offensively team down, and Jabari Smith went 6 for 16. He's going to be a top 3 draft pick in this upcoming NBA draft. So they're also going to face a team that hung 97 on Ole Miss, Tommy, that Alabama has got a couple guys that can play. J.D. Davidson, DJ Shackelford, Javon Quinterly. They've got some really good guards that Arkansas are going to have to contain on the dribble drive and stuff. It's not easy the rest of the way we've said it. And once again, they find a challenge tomorrow in Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
If Arkansas isn't somewhere around 20 free throws made in a ball game, which means you need to be somewhere around 27, 28. The other night they had 32 free throw attempts. The math doesn't work, because that's how Arkansas ultimately, that's the little secret sauce. That's the Big Mac sauce that's in there between the cheese and the patties, is free throws. Because Arkansas won a game the other night shooting about 35% from the floor. But how do you make up for that? How do you get more points on the board? Well, you got to do it by shooting 80% at the free throw line. And that's what they've been doing. So, yes, you play great defense and you clamp down another team to below 40%. But in the end, they've won these games by making free throws. That's kind of been the ingredient that goes along with it. And then defense the other night, how many turnovers did they create that created and led to points? I think they scored, 24 points off turnovers. So there's just a lot of good things going on, but can't overlook how well they have played in getting themselves to the free throw lines and then converting those points.
Bama turns the ball over kind of middle of the pack. They're 165th in turnover percentage, so you can take advantage of that. J.D. Davidson can be sporadic at times, and if Bama's not hitting threes, that's going to be a key factor of all this. When they're hitting threes, they are really difficult to play. That's where the majority of their offense comes from, so you've got to be able to contain them the best you can. I don't know if Arkansas is going to be able to do that or not. We'll have to wait and see, but if Arkansas can get to the line and be aggressive like they were against Auburn, I think they got a really good chance against this basketball team. And I think what Arkansas has in front of them, as long as they don't get blown out tomorrow, Tommy, I think they'll find themselves ranked. There's been a lot of teams that have lost in the AP poll this week. As long as they don't get blown out tomorrow in Tuscaloosa, I think they're going to find themselves ranked.
I agree with you. I think we discussed this at length, kind of banging on Jeff Goodman a little bit yesterday, having them at 25. I think they're better than 25. They're probably can't be ahead of Tennessee unless Tennessee loses tomorrow. Then you can, and Arkansas wins, you can make that case then. But 20, 21, 22, that's kind of where they should be. And if they win tomorrow, maybe you do slide them up inside the top 20, but this is not going to be a team ranked at 12 or 13 or 14. I don't believe.
I think that's fair to say. Right now, Ken Palm, ESPN, and others have you losing. That's the expectation, is you're not going to win this basketball game, and you're going to find how much this team has moved on. Musselman's talked about them moving on. We've heard Stanley Mude say they've got to move on, and some of the other guys we'll actually see tomorrow if they have moved on for this. And it's very difficult. You just had an emotional win. You stormed the court. You've had classmates telling you all week how great you are and how much fun Tuesday night was. Now you have to refocus and get ready for a team that wants to beat you. There has been an adjustment. You were the hunter. You won 9 straight. You're no longer the hunter. You're the hunted.
Yeah.
And you're going to be hunted in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, starting at 11 a.m. tomorrow.
And I made this point Wednesday morning. I think it's still a great one Friday, in my opinion, is having that extra 24 hours, playing on Tuesday versus Wednesday. Alabama played Wednesday. Forget about the fatigue and the travel and all of those things. Arkansas didn't travel this week. Alabama traveled to Ole Miss for their midweek game. But Arkansas needed that extra 24 hours to come down from that emotional high, to settle back in, to refocus, because you need to enjoy a moment. Why do all this? Why do all the conditioning? Why do all the film study? Why do all the practice if you can't enjoy a win like beating number 1? Doing something that truly has never been done before. That's beating a number 1 team, hosting a number 1 team, all the things that were accomplished Tuesday night. Enjoy it. But I think the extra day, because of the way the schedule works out, will prove to be beneficial tomorrow. And don't be surprised just because of all that. Teams often come out flat. I'll be interested to see what's Arkansas like in the first 4 minutes till the media hits, the second 4 minutes till the under 12. How long does it take them to get going? Or are they ready out of the gates? I don't know which way it's going to go, but it wouldn't surprise me if they were just a little bit flat coming out of the gate tomorrow just because of everything that has occurred this week.
Alabama's 5-6 in conference play. They'd like to get to an even 500 by beating the Razorbacks tomorrow, and you'd like to continue to be and remain in the top 4 and stay in line with Tennessee. That's a team that, again, you haven't played just yet. You get them in Bud Walton next Saturday, and you'll end your regular season in Knoxville. And I think that Arkansas has a really good chance, especially beating Auburn. If you can somehow, some way beat the Crimson Tide tomorrow, you're setting yourself up in a great position to be not just a top 4 seed, but a top 3 seed in this league. And Kentucky has to come to your house, right? That's a big part of all this too, is Kentucky. The one place that game between the Wildcats and Razorbacks is taking place is in Bud Walton Arena.
Yeah, and this would be different. I mean, beat Kentucky last year, but that wasn't a great Kentucky team. I mean, when's the last time you beat a really good Kentucky team? So I guess 14. It's been a while. So there's Kentucky teams, and then there's this, and this is right now a top 5 team. And I imagine Auburn stays ahead of them. Auburn beat them head up, so I can't imagine them moving up a whole lot in the poll, or if at all, if you're Kentucky, but. Nonetheless, this would be a really good Kentucky team if you can get a win over them.
The 2014 Kentucky team you beat went all the way to the national championship and lost to UConn. They weren't the same team in the regular season that they were at the end of the conclusion of the postseason, but this team is really good, top 5. I don't know how high they'll be coming into Bud Walton Arena with Auburn losing. We'll see what Auburn does the rest of their regular season. I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't lose a single conference game the rest of the way and retain that number 1 position. But Kentucky's a good basketball team, and again, they're coming in your house. We'll see what Arkansas can do against Alabama tomorrow. Then you get, is it Missouri next Wednesday?
Missouri on the road.
Tennessee the next Saturday, and I think it's Florida the following Tuesday, if I remember that right. And then you'll play Kentucky at home, if I remember that schedule.
I think you've got it exactly right. And that Tennessee game on a lot of schedules is still TBD, but I think that's a 3 o'clock game?
3 o'clock game.
Yeah,
correct.
so I've still seen schedules, online schedules out there that still have it to be determined. I think that game time has been determined because we were looking at here in the office the other day for scheduling purposes. So if you're when I was looking at the schedule yesterday morning on the show, some of them out there, not the university schedule, but like the ESPN schedule. So that will be a 3 o'clock game a week from tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. It'll be a fun one. It will have some energy, as will Kentucky the following Saturday, as will LSU, which I believe is on a Wednesday night prior to playing the Tennessee Volunteers in Knoxville to close out your regular season. I think it's March the 2nd, and then the other game's the 5th.
Any game of that stretch stand out to you as most important?
Of the rest of the way?
Yeah. Any game that...
Anytime you see Kentucky on your schedule at home,
is that the most important game to win?
Easy answer. I think it's...
What's the most important game to win the rest of the way?
Probably to one of the Tennessee games, so you can split. That's something you brought up.
I was going to say, beating Tennessee at home, because they're right there in the league standings with you. You're even, and you don't want them to have a tiebreaker over you. So that to me would be my answer, is Tennessee winning one of those two games.
And it puts the pressure on them. If you beat them at Bud Walton, it puts the pressure on them in Knoxville to close out the regular season, because assuming you have a decent record conference way. So right now, Arkansas, again, is tied with Tennessee with an 8-3 record. They're 2 games ahead of everyone else. Florida's at 6-5, and then Mississippi State's at 5-5. So you have a pretty comfortable, 2 games with 7 games remaining, and we'll see what happens, what Arkansas could do. But if you can win 4 of the next 7, then there's a pretty good shot that you're probably going to be
you just can't mess the bed, is what you can't do.
You can't
lose at Missouri. You need to. I think a road win at Florida, is important to this equation. You just talk about the math.
You never play well down there.
And exactly. That has always been an Achilles heel for Arkansas, is playing in Gainesville.
Kind of like Starkville. You just don't play well down there.
So
saw this year, you didn't play well at all down there.
You've got and then if I don't think you got to get lucky to beat Kentucky. I think you just got to play well and do some of the things you do. But that would be a huge feather in your cap to have 2 top 5 wins. Now you're talking about being a top 5 seed legitimately, and probably maybe a 3 or a 4 if you could have 2 top 5 wins in February heading into the tournament.
My dad was texting me last night about Arkansas potential NCAA tournament destination. We brought it up a little bit on the show. So there are some wild places for the first and second round. We mentioned Buffalo, New York, Portland, Oregon, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, San Diego. If Arkansas continues to play like they have been, there's a good chance you wind up at Fort Worth, Texas.
Fort Worth's the closest.
In Dickies Arena. And you know how many Arkansas fans are in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. It is an insane amount. That is where you want to end up. And I know San Diego from us would be cool. I would like to go to Pittsburgh at some point in my life because of what Phil has said about it. I think that would be. But for Arkansas's best chances to advance past the first weekend, you play in Fort Worth, Texas.
Absolutely.
Because your fan base would just flood Dickies Arena. Is Dickies Arena, is that where TCU is? What is Dickies Arena?
Is that no? I don't know. Was it the
random
old
arena?
American Airline Arena where the Mavericks play? Because that was the name of that arena.
It's still, so American Airlines is in Dallas, so that's a different spot.
Okay, so it's
it's a 14,000 seat in Fort Worth. I don't know if this is a TCU.
They built so many facilities down there. I don't know.
It's probably just probably like a BOK center, or just a place that is just an arena to be an arena.
Yeah,
and Fort Worth.
Well, in a metroplex the size of Dallas Fort Worth, they can just build a building to host concerts and events like this, and make it work. And a lot of times, taxpayer tourist dollars pay for it.
So if you put Fort Worth at the top, and Portland or Buffalo probably the problem, just because of distance. Buffalo for Buffalo wings, that'd be kind of cool. But I have noticed
not many fans. I mean, there'll be some, but not many fans can pull off the travel and the cost of the airline ticket and all of that on short notice. Because that's always the problem in the NCAA tournament. If it's out of your driving radius, the cost of an airline ticket, less than a week before you need to travel is just exorbitant.
Yeah, you can't really. The only ones I drove to Indy. You can drive to Indy. You can make that work. You can easily drive to Fort Worth. I think with Milwaukee, I remember looking at it as an extra hour or two. I think it's 11.5 if I remember that right. There's really not a lot of drivable places outside of Fort Worth, Tommy, on this list. So you hope you get that.
Buffalo, San Diego, Portland, you're not going.
You're not driving. Greenville, not driving.
Nope.
Greenville, I think it's like 16 if I remember that. Greenville, I've been told it's a pretty cool place, but they just got to keep winning. Hopefully they'll wind up in Fort Worth. We'll see what ends up happening. That's going to be a fun selection Sunday if this team keeps on winning. I know Arkansas fans would love to see their name pop up on Fort Worth because the Sweet 16 Elite 8 associated with Fort Worth is San Antonio, which San Antonio I think is 9 or 10 from here, and probably 10 or 11 from Fayetteville. It would still be.
And there's a flight on Breeze down there.
Oh, is it to San Antonio?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Didn't know that.
Yeah. So, hey, Williams Tractor is moving. After half a century, 50 years, Williams Tractor in Fayetteville is moving to their new location and changing their name while they're doing it to WT Equipment and relocating to Springdale. You'll find WT Equipment on the east side of I-49 between Don Tyson and the Johnson exits. So I've driven by, brand new facility, brand new building right there up on the interstate. Stop by and check them out. And more exciting news to come. Williams Tractor in Fayetteville is now WT Equipment in Springdale.
I want to mention the big money news this morning, and it is the SEC distributing over $54 million per school from the 2020-2021 fiscal year, over $777 million in total revenue. Tommy, that's about $10 million more than it was last year. Now,
not surprising with COVID and everything going on.
Yeah, put this in perspective for me. They took out they gave basically an advance on their salary, essentially the 20-something million.
Advance on the distribution.
Yeah, advance on that. So how does this work? Do they have to give some of the they have to give some of the money back?
Obviously, Hunter Yurachek could explain this, or Greg Sankey or someone like that could explain it far better than me. My understanding is that was a loan that they received from a financial institution, a bank. Regions Bank's the official banking partner of the SEC, so perhaps from them on the future TV revenues, knowing there's a new TV contract coming in. So this number of $54 million per school is going up, even though you're going to take the math and instead of divide by 14, you're going to start dividing by 16 down the road. The new TV deal, which is, I'm sure even some tweaks in the works for that with the addition of Texas and Oklahoma coming in. So, but my understanding is that $20 million you're referencing was against the future TV revenues that are scheduled to come in down the road. So I don't think whether some of that comes out of this $54 million, I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. I don't have the accounting on that.
Good chunk of change.
It makes sense what you're saying, though, that, hey, $4 or $5 million is going to stay behind to pay back, 25% of that principal balance on that $20 million advancement.
What do you think about the Arkansas-Auburn matchup being the most regular season viewed game on ESPN2 since 2018? Had a peak of 1.96 million viewers in overtime. Tom Hart, I know that Clay caught up with Dane Bradshaw. He had a really good piece in his Stay the Hogs. If you haven't read it, you need to do so on Whole Hog Sports. And Tom Hart said it was the best atmosphere he's ever been in, said that on social media. And I think the TV ratings, it wasn't just if you're watching it in person, apparently there's a good audience on television as well.
I was talking with someone yesterday who had talked with someone who was on the floor for the game and has been in a lot of arenas and a lot of places, seen a lot of things, and said it's the craziest, loudest atmosphere that they had been a part of. More people watched it because, number one was playing. That I think just draws interest from the general fan. You can't get a large audience generally with just the fan bases of the two schools. But then it was a good game. It was a heavyweight matchup back and forth. It never really got boring, so you didn't really have a reason to turn away and go elsewhere. So the game was great. It involved number one. I thought the Arkansas crowd in the arena obviously displayed themselves very well on national TV, and I think that translated through. But the reason people watched it was an average viewership of about 1 million people at any point in that ball game was because the game was really good. So you've got that going where, what's the key ingredient to a large audience? A good game, and that's what you had.
If you're a TV executive, how do you balance the bigger audience, which is Kentucky, the huge national brand, going up against a lesser opponent in South Carolina, versus what is supposed to be a high-octane game in Arkansas and Auburn? And it's still the number one team in the country. It's still a good draw, but
But Kentucky was on ESPN, and this game was on ESPN too.
And that's what. And they made a decision that the Kentucky South Carolina would attract more viewers, because that's the only reason they do that is because they're trying to suck in. How do you make a determination? Did they make a mistake?
Research.
But if you looked at it, like I don't know because I haven't seen statistics. Do you think the Kentucky South Carolina game had more viewers than the other
obviously
game?
not, because you just told me the one that Arkansas
that's on
was
ESPN2.
Oh, that was the largest crowd only on ESPN2. For any college basketball game or just on that
Since
network?
2018 on ESPN2.
Okay, so, and we all make mistakes in hindsight. We can all point things, hey, I wish I'd have done this different or that different. These network assignments got to be done weeks before. You don't just make a determination the day of generally on where it's going. So if you were looking at this game in early January or late, Arkansas and Auburn did not appear to be, hey, this is going to be a game that goes to overtime and the home team's going to upset number one. There was no way to forecast or see that weeks ago. So, I mean, you can't really say. I mean, in hindsight, yeah, so they probably should have flip-flopped those network assignments. But how much larger would the crowd have been, the viewing crowd? I don't know, but it would not have. Question. They're not going to double up. It would have been 4 million people or something like that watch it. It was just a really good game. All the elements you need to hold an audience were there on Tuesday night.
Saw that Layden Blocker told 24/7 Sports Travis Barnum or Branham that he's going to be at the Kentucky game. Layden played at my alma mater, Little Rock Christians. Now it's Sunrise Christian. He's a 4-star in the class of 2023. He's taking an unofficial visit for the Kentucky game, which should be a pretty raucous atmosphere, I should think. Now, we were talking about flights earlier, and the 3 flights, Tommy, that fly out of Fayetteville from Breeze are Tampa, San Antonio, and there's one other one. I can't think of what it is.
New
Orleans, which is, I mean, again, they're pretty cheap. I saw that there's
times.
There's a Las Vegas airline that are letting customers join the Mile High Club for just a cool $995 that they'll leave with a bigger smile.
Is that their slogan, or is that your slogan that you've added?
That's the slogan that they added. Is that worth the money?
A conjugal visit on the flight, an authorized conjugal visit?
I feel like that's a lot more trouble than it's worth, especially with air traffic control. That seems, I guess.
Are you hoping there's turbulence or no turbulence during the act? I don't know.
Great question.
That'd be $1,000. I think as a married man, you'd probably pass on that. So $1,000, nah. But you know why they do it? Because somebody's going to give them $1,000 for it.
To do it?
Yeah.
So it's worth the money if you're unmarried, and it's not worth the money if you are married.
So are you figuring out whether they take credit cards for this? I'm sure you are looking, you're doing your research on this, right?
I have no desire, married or unmarried, to ever join the Mile High Club. That is an achievement of sorts that one of my buddies
Is it really an achievement, though?
And he likes to brag about it, but that doesn't that doesn't do it for me. I've never had I have to do this.
That's not on your bucket
list?
list?
That seems like something Clay would want to have on his.
You think?
To pin on his lapel.
I don't think that's.
That sounds like something.
I don't think
Clay
that's on
would
Clay's bucket list.
I think that's something that's Clay's about. All right.
I think Clay's in a different stage of life than that.
Just a little bit. Last headline this morning. It's Get Out Your Guitar Gay. If you had an opportunity, because you didn't play any instruments growing up, correct?
No.
I didn't either. I wish.
Other than that plastic recorder, flute, whatever you want to call it, you know, you get in the 4th grade. I got a funny story on that, too.
My grandpa played the banjo. I would love to learn how to play the banjo if I had a chance. That or the piano.
You know, you get that in the 4th grade, 5th grade, or whatever. They give you that plastic clarinet, flute, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
We were cleaning out the freezer last weekend.
It was there.
I found my wife had put in the bottom of the freezer one of the kids, the reed end of it, the part you blow into. It had magically disappeared one day. Found it at the bottom of the freezer.
That means she hid it. I'm surprised
she kind of started laughing when I said, "Honey, what is this?" That's where Mom had. I guess when she was getting the vodka out, she put the flute in. And there you go.
Caught red-handed. All right. Clay Henry, the publisher of Hogs Illustrated, Whole Hog Sports, will be joining us coming up. Stay with us. Hour 2, Football Friday of the Morning Rush is next.
Make your backyard dreams a reality this summer with an in-ground pool from Burton Pools and Spas. Save $5,000 this month on select in-ground pools. And with payments starting at $290 a month, your own backyard oasis is not out of reach. Be one of the first 7 families to call and receive a free upgrade to a saltwater system, a nearly $2,000 value. Save $5,000 and get a free upgrade at Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith, and online at burtonpools.com.
Day 209 on the island. There is still no rescue in sight. I long for the simple comforts of home. The leather seats, the spacious interior, the 12.3-inch touchscreen display, and of course, the panoramic moonroof. If I could only gaze through it one more time.
Jerry!
What?
Stop talking about your Highlander and help me with the raft!
Frank seems more agitated than normal lately. Could it possibly be because he, too, misses my Toyota Highlander?
No, Jerry! It's not because I miss your Highlander! And stop acting like I can't hear you!
Yes, that must be it. Comparing his sad raft to my sleek-looking Highlander has finally broken him.
Just stop.
Experience the unforgettable 2022 Toyota Highlander for yourself. Visit your local dealer or go to toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. See packages and options at toyota.com for feature availability.
The temperatures may be cooling down, but at Wheels RV in Northwest Arkansas, the deals are still red hot. Whether you are enjoying one of over 50 state parks or tailgating with your favorite team, Wheels has the right RV to help you enjoy fall in the natural state. And at Wheels RV, every new unit comes with a lifetime warranty. So get out to Wheels and see why they were voted best RV dealership in Northwest Arkansas. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
In stock now and available for sales on these dates at the Golf Nut. Tailor-made Stealth Carbon Face Driver February 4th. Cobra LTD X Woods Hybrids and Irons February 11th. And Callaway Rogue ST February the 18th. Check out the selection of golf bags from Sun Mountain, Ping, TaylorMade, Titleist, and Callaway. The Golf Nut also has a great selection of Scotty Cameron putters. Check Facebook for daily specials. The Golf Nut, 5121 Towson Avenue in Fort Smith. Your #1 golf shop since 1994.
It is here, fast, reliable internet from Wave Rural Connect. Cedarville, Uniontown, Natural Dam, and surrounding areas get fast fiber internet, TV, and phone service from a local provider you can trust based in Ozark, Arkansas. Internet starts at $49.95 a month, TV at $43.99, and phone at $29.95. Order now at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Do it now. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Hi folks, Matchmaker Larry Rath here with a sweetheart of a deal from Rath Auto Resources. I'm on a mission to help you find the nicer, newer car of your dreams. So if the thrill is gone with your old ride, come see the best selection of Rath Road Ready vehicles we've had in over 2 years. Each one hand-picked and reconditioned in our Meineke Car Care Center. Just find the one you love the best and let our friendly, non-commissioned solution specialists do the rest. With discounts up to $4,100 below retail and the highest trade-in values ever, you'll be head over heels for the deals too. Gonna make it work with the car you have? Let us give it the attention it deserves in our Meineke Car Care Center with a free winter-ready inspection, half-off brakes, and buy 3 get 1 free on all tires. But hurry, this deal will be over quicker than your first crush. Start driving better today in a nicer, newer car you love from Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online, rathauto.com.
River City Bistro is Fort Smith's favorite place for lunch, dinner, and brunch. Open 7 days a week, both on the patio and cozy dining room. River City Bistro, locally owned and open weekdays 11 till 8, Saturdays 10 till 8, and Sundays 10 till 3. Want River City Bistro curbside to go? Just search on Facebook or Instagram for River City Bistro or go to rcbistro.com. River City Bistro, 7320 Rogers Avenue in the Stonewood Village Shopping Center.
Elite Roofing is a locally owned roofing contractor. If you're building a new home or maybe need a new roof on your existing home, Elite Roofing can take care of you. Elite Roofing is known for their dependability and reliability. Just ask any of their satisfied customers. They are licensed and insured, and references are available upon request. If you need a roof, call your local roofing contractors. Elite Roofing, 478-8668. That's 478-8668. Elite Roofing, 478-8668.
Here's an awesome addition to your toolbox at an amazing price. Whether you're a do-it-yourselfer or pro, right now Metters Lumber True Value has the DeWalt 37-piece screwdriving set for just $14.99. The tough snap-close case holds a wide assortment of bits and nut drivers for almost any project on your list. Each bit is cut from shock-resistant tool steel, and the snub-nose design fits perfectly into hex socket adapters. Head over to Metters Lumber True Value to save on this bargain of the month now, while supplies last.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, plenty of sunshine, our high low 60s north, low 70s south. We will see an increase in the cloud cover tonight. Overnight lows will drop down mid-20s north, mid-30s south, and then we may see just a few passing rain showers, especially across the south on Saturday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Weather is brought to you by Ramos Roofing, specializing in all roofing needs. 479-420-9903.
You're listening to The Morning Rush, live from the Busch Light Studios on ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris, Fort Smith.
just your thoughts on where the athletic department is right now with his leadership.
Hunter's done a great job. I've worked for a lot of athletic directors, but I just like the way he approaches everything. He communicates really well with the coaches. He's all about the student athlete, but he's all about the coaches as well. And he just treats you with respect, and I appreciate it so much. And he's done a great job. And I think our athletic department's in great hands, and I sure hope that Hunter never gets away from here.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
People who really want to have a good time won't come to a slaughterhouse. And we've got entirely too many troublemakers here.
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
I don't like you because you're dangerous. That's right. I am dangerous.
Streaming live from
Hit that line.
.com.
I hit the 7-iron like John Daly hits the 3.
This is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson.
You just got to keep living, man.
And Tommy Kraft.
We follow orders or people die. Are we clear?
The Morning Rush starts right now.
Yes, sir.
So when we had Dave Van Horn on back in April of 2021, Clay asked him a good question about Hunter Yurachek and just kind of what he thought about his leadership. And Dave Van Horn was more than happy to answer that because he seems to be really satisfied with his boss and what he's doing, not just for the baseball program and the new Hunt Performance Center, but everything going else on campus. I want to just talk about with Hunter getting this extension that should be, I think, cleared as of March 16th or 17th, what he's done since arriving in Fayetteville.
Hey, we're brought to you by APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group. They have immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in Northwest Arkansas, Fort Smith, and in Harrison. They need people to join their team right now. So if you have a CDL license without an automatic restriction, want to be home at night, work with a great company that offers great pay, benefits, and a great team environment with growth opportunities, you can apply online this morning. Jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group, they are equal opportunity employers.
Clay, I saw a student at the University of Arkansas had compiled what Arkansas's record has been in the last 400 days, 136-22 at home in football, basketball, men and women, baseball, softball, and soccer. Now, Hunter Yurachek, you can't give him credit for every single bit of that, but man, since he has gotten here on campus after the Jeff Lawn administration was done, he has done a lot of different things to help student athletes and coaches at the University of Arkansas.
Well, what you give him credit for first is negotiating the crazy winding road of COVID, and just keeping things afloat financially. That was not an easy year that he went through, and I'm sure that he'll tell you that that's been the toughest thing that he's done in his life. And every athletic director will tell you that. And we didn't hear any complaints. We just, he explained it, he's out there on the radio and will do interviews. He's very accessible. I give him credit for that. The previous AD was not accessible. I don't know how many times you guys had him on the radio, but it was probably in single digits over a 10-year period, right?
I mean, when things were good, he was front and center, calling us, texting, tweeting. Jeff was, but when things were
he disappeared.
He disappeared. But that was what I was going to say. When things were a little more rocky, you didn't hear from him as often. So
yeah, well, so I will give Hunter a lot of credit, and he told me that he inherited a financially sound ship, and that enabled him to do some things. Yeah, I think it's he's deserved a raise, and everybody's kind of clamored for to make sure that Musselman and Pittman are locked up, and it's that's the toughest job that he's got is to keep those two coaches happy, and Dave Van Horn, but it appears that Dave's really happy. I mean, how could he not be? He's been taken care of financially. Plus, they've got great facilities. That's all a coach can ask for, right?
Right. So when your AD gets a long-term extension and has now 5 more years on his deal, and financially, the terms are out there. What I see in this, Clay, is this extends the likelihood of the 4 big head coaches up there: Pittman, Musselman, Van Horn, Neighbors, all being here longer term. Those are your 4 highest paid coaches that you have on campus. when the boss changes, even though the AD makes a fraction of what these coaches make, he's still in charge. And anytime the leader of a department changes, that makes people nervous a little bit, makes them look around a little bit. And to me, the stability it brings with him being there this many more years means, as long as things are good, you can probably, bet on the long-term run with some of these coaches.
Yep, there's one little, I'd say asterisk on all of this is that they're operating with an interim chancellor.
Yep, we talked about that.
And we'll see what happens when that position is filled and how that man or woman, interacts with athletics. And you can have a mess. It can be really uncomfortable if the chancellor decides he wants to put his hands on the athletic program. And it's been done at Arkansas both ways.
And we talked about that earlier. Maybe you've got some better. I thought Hunter Yurachek's deal would probably be tabled or backburnered until that position was filled. Bobbitt, the system's president, got this deal pushed through it as it appears. Are you a little bit surprised, Claire? What's the process when you don't have a full-time person and you're still in an interim role in the chancellor's office?
Well, it just depends on if you've got somebody, on the board that's really interested in athletics and keeps bringing it up. And the system president works for the board.
Right.
And if he wants his job to be secure, he's going to do the things that they want. And if that is a priority, and it was, because they're happy with athletics, and they're as happy with athletics as they were unhappy with athletics. Mm-hmm. At the end of the Jeff Long, Brett Bielema debacle. It's they push for that. So if that's the case, then that he jumps in ahead of the next chancellor and gets that done.
Pittman was in attendance on Tuesday, Clay, and we're seeing this stuff with Yurachek. Any surprise that we haven't seen any update on Pittman's contract to this point? I thought that Pittman's deal would get done before Yurachek's. I thought they both had one coming. Any surprise, y'all, that we haven't seen?
Yes, I thought it had been done a couple of weeks ago.
I think that when you have Jimmy Sexton involved, that it's a long process. He that's not the only contract that he's working on. What's he got? 30 Division I head coaches, something like that. He's got a lot of coordinators too.
He's looking for 31 right now. He's looking for the next one.
Yeah, well, they're looking for him too.
That's a better point.
Yeah, so it's not that that's the only thing that he's touching. So there's a lot of people involved, and Sam's also been pretty busy. So recruiting, I think that takes precedent. What they're working on, and now there's a little bit of time. In fact, I think coaches are on vacation this week, so maybe it'll get done this week.
And when you reach a point, and maybe they're at this point, maybe they're not, I don't know, but when you reach a point where, hey, we agree on terms, now we just got to get the legal I's dotted, the legal T's crossed, the contracts, as Clay's talking about, everybody gets comfortable. As long as those terms don't change, this is what both sides agree to, then it's just, hey, everybody keep their nose clean until we get this thing papered up.
Did you see the contract numbers? So it's the 1.25 per year on the new agreement. He's going to make, listen to this, $684,000 for speaking engagements, TV, and radio interviews and other sponsors.
Well, there's a state limit on what your state-funded salary can be.
They got to call it something.
500 and something thousand. See, that's in all the coaches' deals have a state limit, and then and then the foundation and private funding kicks in the rest.
How do we
of that.
get you, me, and Clay's radio salary or up around that range?
Well, how do we get Hunter to, hey, part of that money you're making, it needs to be for a regular appearance on the Morning Rush or something like that. Hey, Sassy's Red House, Sassy's Barbecue and Grill there for all the hungry basketball fans this weekend. If you're looking for a place to watch the game at 11 o'clock tomorrow, the Sassy's would be a great place for the award-winning wings, their tender brisket, the pulled pork. They'll have plenty of TVs on. Sassy's Barbecue and Grill is just off the Weddington exit on Steamboat Drive, or Sassy's Original Red House on North College in Fayetteville. Eat, drink, and be sassy.
When we come back, Clint Sterner's mom had a really, really funny dialogue earlier this week. She felt like that Arkansas was maligned a little bit by Jeff Goodman and where they were ranked. We're going to play that for you, and also want to give you some television ratings from that night. against Auburn.
Just say, Alexa, play ESPN Arkansas.
ESPN Arkansas from TuneIn.
Hey, this is Mike Golick Jr. from ESPN Radio, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
It's time to stop searching and start driving. Between February 16th and March 7th, get $70 reward card or virtual account after online submission. With the purchase of 4 new Michelin passenger or light truck tires, including the Michelin Cross Climate 2 tire. See MichelinMan.com for complete details. Offer expires March 7th, 2022. Void where prohibited.
Come see us at Southern Tire Mart, just off I-540 exit 14 in Fort Smith today for quality tires and the best-in-class service. Get where you need to be with Michelin and Southern Tire Mart.
Tired of constant computer issues at work? And who knows what the real problem is? Is it the router? No, it's the hardware. Wait, they said it was the software. Call Hashtag Managed IT Services. Their multifaceted approach to IT support guarantees that everything is working at optimum performance, and Hashtag prevents the small problems from becoming big issues. Hashtag Managed IT Services in Van Buren, 479-802-4978. That's 479-802-4978. Hashtag technology without the headache.
Winter is actually a good time to paint. The paint store over here in Van Buren has the most popular colors on large sample boards so you can see the color in your home. Rather do some outside painting? Our low temperature application product allows you to paint down to 35 degrees. It's okay. Experience hometown customer service you won't get at a national brand and get free professional advice from our 34 years of experience. Come see Sue and her team at the paint store in Van Buren. Find us on the internet.
Harry Robinson Buick GMC is the River Valley's truck superstore. No one has a bigger selection of new and pre-owned trucks. If you need a regular cab work truck, Harry has them, and the biggest selection you'll find anywhere. Over 60 full-size pre-owned trucks are in stock now, and over 250 pre-owned vehicles are on the lot. And for the first time in 90 days, new 2021 trucks are on the ground. When the other dealers don't have it, Harry does. The area's truck superstore. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
We're remixed and remastered at TGI Fridays in Fort Smith. Some of your favorite apps, drinks, and desserts are now even better the second time around. Check out the sizzling cheesy bacon mac and cheese bites, a blast from the past with a whole new vibe. Also back are the famous Fridays fried mushrooms and the ultimate cheesy bacon cheeseburger. And all new at Fridays is the Oreo Madness, house-made giant Oreo cookies with cookies and cream ice cream coated in red and white sprinkles, served with chocolate sauce and a fresh strawberry. Come by or order online. It's your locally owned TGI Fridays at I-540 and Rogers in Fort Smith.
At Frank Rowe Furniture in February, already marked down low sale prices plus no sales tax. That's right, you heard it right. A sale plus no sales tax. For instance, a recliner regular $6.99, sale price $5.99 with no sales tax $5.39. That's a savings of $160. Frank Rowe Furniture offers in-store no credit check financing, SNAP, and ASEMA financing. Frank Rowe Furniture, 405 4th Street, Barling, Arkansas. Best seats in the house.
Farm Credit has been a trusted friend for over 100 years. They are ag financing experts. So whether you're a longtime farmer, new to farming, or buying your dream home or land in the country, their experienced staff has a plan to fit your goals, needs, and your bottom line. From farms to land, livestock, equipment, and more, Farm Credit finances it all. Learn more at myaglender.com. Farm Credit is an equal opportunity lender.
For a limited time, Art's Barbecue and Burgers is serving up some great combo platters with all your favorite choices from Art's. Ribs and brisket, catfish and brisket, pulled pork and brisket, plus catfish and ribs. And you can add a hot link, sausage, or 2 tamales to any of the combo platters. Make your combo plate any way you want it to be. And don't forget, every Friday night is all-you-can-eat catfish at Art's. Art's Barbecue and Burgers, Rogers Avenue next to Buddy's in Fort Smith. Real smoked barbecue.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Good morning to the Morning Rush, everybody.
Drives around Morrell, hits Note in the corner, three-pointer good.
Streaming live at hitthatline.com.
Welcome back into the Morning Rush. I was laughing during the break. I was watching the Hunter Yurachek video back in Indianapolis after Arkansas defeated Oral Roberts and how crazy he was. If we're just talking about last segment the extension and raise that he's going to be getting. But technically, it's not done yet, right?
Well, it needs the stamp of the board.
Check mark, basically, from the Board of Trustees, but it looks like it's pretty inevitable.
I don't think you would know. I mean, Clay's friends at the Arkansas Democrat Gazette, Whole Hog Sports, got this through the Freedom of Information request. But, I think you're at a point now that, the board generally doesn't get in and make a lot of major adjustments at this stage. Hey, if you're going to be out doing –
Yeah, that was Matt Jones, by the way. Yeah. Give him credit. Yep.
Yeah. That's what Ty just said. Yeah. So, hey, we're brought to you by the Umbrella Flash Mob Jr. If you're going to be out doing some bass fishing in the cold waters this weekend, it's the best lure for duplicating small schools of shad. It can be worked from the top of the water column to the bottom, and whether you're trying to win a bass tournament or just have some fun fishing for bass this weekend, the Umbrella Flash Mob Jr. needs to be in your tackle box. It's available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. It's the Umbrella Flash Mob Jr.
Got a couple things I want to get into coming up. The record viewing audience you had on ESPN2 Tuesday night for Auburn and Arkansas. That was pretty special. Clint Sterner's mom, what's her name, by the way?
Mama Sterner?
Okay.
Mama Hog is what she prefers.
I think it's Linda.
Linda?
I believe that's right.
Okay. Linda Sterner on that she felt like that Arkansas was wronged in the rankings sent out by Jeff Goodman. Pretty funny audio clip. But first, I want to welcome in Auburn Ozzy this morning into the program. How are things going down in the Plains, Ozzy?
Yes, my name is Ozzy, and I am #1 Auburn fan. Thank you for having me as guest on your show today, Mr. Richardson. This is not good for our great Auburn University. We lost in basketball, and there was a very controversial dunk at the end of the game, and I hear that there is multiple NIL deals as become of that, and we also lost in women's basketball. I have an evil twin brother who is an Arkansas fan, who is much better looking than I, Ozzy Maverick, and I am coming here on this radio program to unite us all, to bury the hatchet, and I would like to sing the Auburn fight song in the spirit of motherhood. So, with that being said, here I go. I will be singing the Auburn fight song as #1 Auburn fan, I'll be Ozzy. Me, 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 me. And Tommy Kraft sing along. This is from your national anthem. Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love, in all of us combined. With
we're derailed for sure.
Heart we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. I forgot the next verse to the song, but I'll stand on God.
I'm going for coffee. I'll be back in a little bit.
God save our land, glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Let's hit this high note now.
No, let's not.
Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, you suck, Auburn. You suck, Jeff Goodman. You suck.
What do you think, Tommy?
I hope somebody's still listening.
Get the people going this morning. Clay was so enthralled by that call, he went up to get coffee to just a decaf to just tone him down a little bit. It sounds like. Oh man, I didn't even know the Canada. Is that not the Canada fight song? Is that the Canada national anthem? Is that the Canadian national anthem?
Yeah, that would be I'm still. That's your buddy. I'm trying to figure out what the heck just happened there. So, other than derailing the radio show, appreciate that. So, Clay, are you back? Can you save us? No, Clay's still getting coffee. So,
was Mama
save
Sterner,
us?
Is Mama Sterner going to derail this?
No, Mama Sterner's actually funny. I don't know what that was. That was not actually funny. So,
okay, let's hear what Mama Sterner had to say about how she feel like Jeff Goodman.
Save us, Mama Sterner.
How about them Hogs last night? Beat the number one team in the country, got 9 straight wins. Boy, I am one proud Mama Hog here in Baytown. Now, Rankin's going to have to sit up and take notice. And we got Jeff Goodman on Twitter. Gosh dang it, man, my boy likes you. I ain't got no use for you. You been talking all that mess about my Hogs? They're a mystery team. No, they ain't no mystery. They're just going out there to play ball. Hey, Arkansas, you can wait till next season when you got help coming. Losers talk about next season. Hogs are winners. Goodman, I checked your feed today. You got a Goodman 25, whatever the hell that is. You got the Hogs at number 25. We just beat the number one team in the nation. We have 9 straight wins, and you've got us at number 25. Are you me? Number 25? Get the hell out of here, Goodman. Dadgummit. You know, like I told Red Sox Nation last year, I got some friends in Boston. I think I might catch me a little flight and run up there. But when I'm there, I'm going to slide over there and find you. And when I do, I'm going to whoop that ass. Don't make me do it, Goody. Hey, Hogs, this one right here, for you. Go, Hogs.
That was pretty passionate.
She's never changed.
Nope. That's Clint Sterner's mom. So.
Yeah. She's the real McCoy.
Yeah. I remember when Clint was doing the morning show here with us, and there would be an occasional appearance from Linda on the show. And it was always truthful and insightful, and sometimes
truthful.
Yeah.
To the point.
To the point. You didn't have to worry about where you stood. And I think where Jeff Goodman stands with her this morning. As we were discussing that topic
Clint's
yesterday.
got some of that in him. He's got that
Absolutely.
too.
So,
Clay, do you know if, because I was telling Tommy this, Mike Anderson and Jeff Goodman had a rift. There was clearly one on social media, in press conferences, whatever. Is there a reason that he seems, because I thought it was just a Mike thing, but evidently it isn't. Is there?
I have not followed Jeff Goodman. I don't read his stuff, so I'm probably the wrong guy to ask. He's, I've always thought he was a little petty, and that he could, he could have some bias in what he does. And, I mean, others think he's pretty good, but I've just never been impressed. And maybe that's because of what he's done to Arkansas. And I thought maybe it had something to do with a flare-up between Mike and Jeff, but I don't know that.
Yeah, I don't understand it. And whatever it is, I think Arkansas fans take issue with certain national analysts who have come against him. And Jeff seems to – we've had Jeff on the show before, and I just don't understand it seems to be the case. But they love when Gary Parrish or Doug Gottlieb come out and said that this sleeping giant, it's up. And we've seen it's up these last what would you call it, 4 months? Not 4 months.
4 weeks.
4 weeks.
Yeah.
And when you were talking about the NCAA tournament, like since March.
Yeah,
I thought that when it's
been the last 12 months.
Yeah. Last
to be
year,
honest, starting in the middle of January of last year.
Okay, I thought you're talking about this year and the kind of the dip.
Perhaps.
From last year to this year.
No question.
We've seen them.
From the Alabama game of last year where they got beat 30.
The
and
second one,
and then had the practice, then went on the 12-game or whatever it was winning streak heading into the end of the year. Yeah. Since then, this has been a program that you better sit up and pay a little bit of attention
and rolling right on through recruiting, during
the
summer and fall. Yeah.
And this upcoming class we know we're really excited about, Nick Smith Jr., Eric Musselman, Dudley. Clay, I don't know if you caught Muss's press conference yesterday, but Dudley asked Muss a really good question about this incoming class, and he went into detail about what each player brings to the table. Joseph Pinion, Darian Ford, Barry Dunning Jr., Nick Smith Jr., and Jordan Walsh, and all spoke to their passing and unselfishness as well, which I think next year's team you should be excited about. People are excited about this year's team. For good reason. 9 straight wins. You get Alabama tomorrow. Muss also touched on what the Crimson Tide have in their arsenal, which is it's pretty stocked full. Javon Quinterly, J.D. Davidson, DJ Shackelford's the guy that you want to keep an eye on. He had 30 against Ole Miss on Wednesday night. Here was what Muss had to say about what Nate Oates is bringing to the table tomorrow at 11 a.m.
It's a weekend game. They've had some incredible, great wins. I mean, you beat Baylor and you beat Gonzaga, like just incredible wins. And knowing that their crowd can be loud and into it, you got to can't let the moment, become bigger than what it is. I read some great stuff on Snoop Dogg today and his approach to playing at the Super Bowl, which I thought was pretty cool and relevant. Of when you're performing, just worry about staying in the moment and stay in your little zone and stick to the script, and that's what we're going to have to do.
Just following up on Snoop Dogg, what he's going to be doing for the upcoming Super Bowl. And I think that there's probably more pressure on Snoop Dogg and his performance come Sunday than there is on Arkansas tomorrow. Does anyone – because you and I both don't think they're going to win tomorrow, right? You've already said that, haven't you, this week?
No, I don't really have a good feel. I think they're going to come out flat, and I think they can win. I mean, I don't think they have to win is what I think I've said. Okay. Tomorrow is not now a must-win. If you'd lost to Auburn, you can't have an 0 for 2 weeks. So – I hate the term house money. It's never the house's money. You can take it off the table and put it in your pocket, but they can go win this game tomorrow. But your back is not pressed to the wall because 0 in 2 weeks are the undoing of your resume, and they've obviously already avoided that.
It's like you're at the table, Tommy, and instead of being down $250,000, you're up $100,000.
Right.
If you lose it, you're back at even.
Right. But it's still your money.
Still your money.
It's still your money on the table.
Clay, what's your feel? You heard from Muss, and we'll get some more Muss audio coming up. What's your feel on tomorrow's game where Alabama's been kind of up and down this year?
Well, we ought to call Snoop and ask him. Just if Eric is quoting Snoop, and I assume that Snoop comments are relevant for a 19-year-old in his locker room, that they pay attention to when he mentions Snoop.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of goes right over me, and I'm probably not interested in Snoop.
You're probably more
for the Super Bowl.
You're probably more of an Eminem, Dr. Dre guy for this Super Bowl, right?
Mary J. Blige, right,
Yeah.
Clay?
If we're going to have a rapper, do you think Snoop is a rapper? Would you say that?
Wish we had the tape of Clay rapping.
Eminem
back
is
in
my
the day.
guy. Yeah, Eminem is my
Eminem's
guy.
your
You've seen the picture of Snoop, Ryan Mount, and Clay all huddled up, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, that's an iconic.
Back to the question of what I think is going to happen. I think Arkansas's got a great shot because it is a really, really bad matchup for. I think Arkansas can guard, dribble penetration, and that's and take away threes. That's what they do. And just like Kentucky's length bothered Alabama, I think Arkansas's will too. And Tony has been terrific on lead guards. I mean, he's much better on the lead guards than I thought. He's a 6'6", strong guy, and you're not going to go to the rack on him. I mean, he's just not going to. So I think he's on Shackelford. I think Note is on Quinterly, and the huge difference in the game is that Alabama has no match for Jalen Williams, none. They just don't. They've got big guys coming in their next class, which is similar to Arkansas's. I mean, it's 6'7", 6'8", 6'9", 6'10", all athletic. But this is a game Arkansas can get. And when you say, well, they don't have to get this one. Well, if they get this one, you're talking about being a 3 or 4 seed. If you win, you're going to be Auburn, Kentucky, and Arkansas. Now, you go back to what the SEC did in the Big 12 Challenge. That is huge, and that's what the tournament selection committee is going to look at, and they're going to really place the top 3 teams in this league in really advantageous positions. And y'all mentioned in the last hour how much it would help Arkansas to be playing in Fort Worth in that new facility.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Like, can you imagine?
So this is the game. So when you say you're playing with house, no, this is the game. This is when you go and you get it done.
Oh, you're right.
Just like winning at LSU was unbelievably important.
And it's a quality. You got a chance at Tennessee, but you played Tennessee twice. You got to split with them just for conference seating and standing implications. But you got to build a resume with more quality road wins. And the committee is going to really like Alabama, despite where you may have them in a ranking or where they may stand in the conference right now.
Yep.
Their quad one wins are like at 6 or 7 at this
Winning
point.
on the road at Alabama will be more important to the committee than winning at home against Auburn. It just will. That's just the way it works.
And you still got to erase that Vanderbilt loss somehow. This helps really.
But this would be it.
This really helps get some of that off the resume, some of that blemish there.
I think the committee would look at Arkansas if they were to win some of these big games down the stretch and put more value in how they played than how they started initially in conference play, right? You're going to take more into that. And, Clay, you just brought up what Tommy and I were addressing in Hour 1. There are some venues far away. Arkansas, I'll go back to last year. Arkansas heavily favored in every single game in Indianapolis. Were heavily favored in terms of fan attendance. They outshined not Lehigh. Tommy, who did they play first round last year? I was there. Why am I blanking on this? They played Baylor's old assistant coach.
Oral Roberts. They played
first round, first game. Colgate. Played Colgate. They outnumbered Colgate fans. They outnumbered Texas Tech fans. They outnumbered Oral Roberts fans. They outnumbered Baylor fans. That was 10 hours, 11 hours away in Indianapolis, Indiana.
But it was drivable.
You put that sucker in Fort Worth, Texas, it's going to be like the old Southwest Conference tournament.
If you can get your hands on tickets. You know, things with these NCAA events is a lot of corporate part. That's why you watch a lot of these games, and between the free throw lines, they're empty seats for these 11 a.m. games, and people filter in. I wish they had a better way of distributing that sometimes. But and then the evening games, it's always full up. But if Hog fans can get their hands on enough tickets, I mean there will be plenty of demand in the greater Dallas-Fort Worth area. And Hog fans love traveling there, whether it's a Cotton Bowl, whether like you mentioned the old Southwest Conference tournament. There's a long, deep tradition of Hog fans not just living there but traveling to there. You got your old favorite restaurants, you got your favorite place you like to stay. It's familiar to Razorback fans going to Dallas.
And then it would be San Antonio, Clay, would be the partner Sweet 16 to lead it. I think it's Chicago and Milwaukee is the partner up there. But really, I mean, outside of Indianapolis and Fort Worth, not a lot of drivable places in the first and second round.
We're getting ahead of ourselves a little bit. Let's back to the Alabama game. And y'all may have already, kind of jumped into this particular area, but I think how the game is called will be really important. So, for instance, Arkansas shot 40-something free throws in Fayetteville against Alabama, and they fouled 30-something times. I mean, it was, and they could have called 20 more. I mean, they fouled and grabbed every time Arkansas went to the basket. And when they played in Tuscaloosa, Arkansas shot 8 free throws. So that's a huge thing. Arkansas plays without fouling, and they attack the rim. And they're bigger than most teams. They're more physical. They get to the rim. So how many free throws Note takes? How many free throws Tony, Aldis Tony takes? And how many free throws Jalen Williams? And it's the way the game is going to be called will really impact. And what happens when you're not only do you have free throws, but you're fouling out their best players because that's the matchups that you've got.
Just look at the game from Tuesday night. Arkansas had 15 more free throw attempts than Auburn. It's a huge factor
and they attack
in the ball game. So,
but
you got to be. Are you the one initiating the contact as the offensive player when you're driving to the rim, or is the defender legal? That's where Arkansas is so good, is they defend the rim, particularly with Jalen Williams, and they do it legal. So when the offensive player comes in and initiates the contact, you either get what? An offensive foul or a no call. Because when you get your feet on the floor defending the offense, that's the legal guarding position. You got 2 feet on the floor facing your opponent. And I think Arkansas, I was talking to a buddy of mine yesterday, he thinks Arkansas is, when you look at this on tape, and I want to go back and watch this, they funnel those plays by the way they defend the guards coming down the lane trying to dribble penetrate. They've got this thing set up, as he was bringing up, where a guy like Chris Likes or someone turns the offensive player with their defense and runs them right in to an awaiting Jalen Williams. And when you look at it, that's kind of how it does work, is Williams is set. He knows where the RA's at. They funnel that player in there. Bam, you got an offensive foul.
Yeah, when you're on the road, sometimes you don't get the charge calls. So you have to kind of watch that. And just remember, if it's a block, it's a foul on Jalen. and they mount up quickly. You know, if he takes 3 charges in a game and they call it 3 blocking fouls, and sometimes they do. And
this year they haven't. I mean, the plays I'm seeing.
He was in foul trouble quick at Georgia. I mean, if you'll remember that.
He played from the 16-minute mark till into overtime with 3 fouls the other night.
He has gotten the benefit of the doubt from officials this year, both on the road and into. And the other thing, Kessler.
I would disagree, because I think when you look at those plays,
they're charged.
They're no doubt charged. There is no other call to make. He is standing. He is in position, and it is in the center of the chest where he's taking the contact.
He does not lean.
There is no benefit of the doubt he needs. These are obvious charge plays the way he defends
There was one against Wendell Green where Wendell hit his side, and they called a charge on him in that game. And it was a block, and they called it. Jalen has gotten.
But just because you're hitting the side, where you're hit doesn't matter. When you're hitting the center of the chest, that just makes it easier, and that's where a lot of the contact happens. You got to look at the feet and where his feet are at, and is he in legal guarding position?
When the offensive guys comes in, they're out of control. It's usually going to be a charge.
Katie Johnson did that a couple times in that basketball game. But I think in that situation, if the ref is a 50-50, I mean, you said it the other day, there was a 50-50 call on Jalen. They gave it to Jalen. He's going to get the benefit of the doubt because
there was some the other night.
Yeah,
too.
and that's what I'm saying. Like he's going to get the benefit of the doubt. Walker Kessler, when a block, maybe foul, is going to get the benefit of the doubt because he's such a tenacious shot blocker. Certain guys that are elite skill level in a certain
it's reputation,
and it's
exactly right.
And that's what I'm saying.
These refs, these are professionals. They know what they're doing.
When I hear Ty say something, his reputation precedes him. It's like, oh no,
it's not good,
and it may turn out to be right, but I mean, I think it's going to be something really bad.
Yeah.
Like the other day when you said, your press pass was a memoir.
A memory is what I meant to say. I apologize for mistaking that. Clay, there's been a couple of names.
Anytime you try to use a French word, you're in trouble.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. Clay, there's been a couple
kind of like
names.
When he tries to French kiss, he gets in trouble there too.
Yeah. I don't know about that. I hadn't been there.
I hope you haven't been watching me frisk kiss a girl. That would be a little creepy if I saw an old man kind of staring at me while I was making out with a girl. But back to the game tomorrow. It's going to be a really fun game. And I think, Clay, one of the things that Tommy and I were discussing earlier, it doesn't have the same advantage as it would be playing Alabama football at 11 a.m., but it is nice to play these guys in a time where maybe not every fan is up, not every fan is wide-eyed and awake. And Arkansas has become, I think, the hunted a little bit based on their 9-game winning streak, but 11 a.m. could kind of help Arkansas a little bit, not playing in a primetime slot against them tomorrow.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of a rivalry game, too. I mean, I think that, the way Arkansas rubbed their noses in it last year in Fayetteville, I mean, I think the Alabama guys will remember this, and they'll be ready for them.
Yeah, so 11 a.m. tomorrow, earlier start. If you haven't looked at the schedule, it's a way to start your day. Maybe have some brunch, then watch the Razorbacks, and we'll have it right here for you on the radio with 10:30 for the pregame with Chuck and Z from down in Tuscaloosa. We're brought to you by Gaston's White River Resort. We've been telling you about winter rates. There's still time to book your cabin for 2 or more nights at Gaston's and enjoy a 40% discount at Gaston's White River Resort. Man, we've had kind of up and down weather, and but it's a great time in February to go and fish on the White River. Big browns, big rainbows. Go to their Facebook page. Just search Gaston's White River Resort. You'll see a lot of pictures with their experienced guides of exactly what's going on at Gaston's right now, and just some of the monsters that have been on display, if you will, at the White River, the premier trout fishing stream in all of North America. They got 80 cabins and lodges, a great restaurant, private accommodations for each of those cabins, great topwater boats that their guides can take you out in. So every little detail at Gaston's has been tended to and awaiting your arrival. That's all at Gaston's White River Resort, 870-431-5202. Ask for winter rates at Gaston's, a first-class time every time.
Listen to that last segment, I promise you, it sounded like I walked into a barbershop and listened to 2 old men just go at it. That was great.
You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Now that's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
The phrase in dire straits originated in the 1400s from sailors having to carefully navigate their vessels through narrow passages to avoid a shipwreck. So Far Away from Dire Straits is a song lamenting the struggle of a long-distance relationship over the phone. Mark Knopfler said, "It's a joke. It can't really be done over a long period of time because you both get exhausted with it. Sin has put us in dire straits with God, and that's why he feels so far away." Jesus said the passage to God is a narrow way, and he promised when he went so far away, the Holy Spirit would be here to stay. This isn't some hunch or intuition, but a conviction navigating you to God's holy word. When you have a real relationship with God, you have the person of the Spirit living inside you, guiding your walk of life every step of the way. Don't trust your feelings. Look up John chapter 16 and see if it sends you reeling. I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Read about it.
BetOnline has you covered for all the holiday season. More props, odds, and lines than ever before. BetOnline remains your number one spot for all sports action. Head to our new updated desktop or
Bistro Curbside to Go? Just search on Facebook or Instagram for River City Bistro or go to rcbistro.com. River City Bistro, 7320 Rogers Avenue in the Stonewood Village Shopping Center.
We will make your life easier. Jody'sAuto.com will pick up your vehicle at your office or home or wherever. Take it to one of our 3 locations in Van Buren and Fort Smith. Perform any service your vehicle will ever need and deliver your vehicle back to you. Hi, Kim Bircher with Jody'sAuto.com. No missing work. No finding a sitter. No sitting in a waiting room. No wasting your precious time that you don't have. Many of our customers tell us, "You're saving me money." Pick up and delivery, it's free when you spend $75 and only $10 if less. With our 3 oil change specials, you're going to find adding $10 will mean nothing. And we always have free shuttle service. You bring your vehicle to us and we will take you and pick you up in our vehicle. Honesty and customer service is always our number one goal. We will make your life much easier. Jody'sAuto.com. JODYSauto.com.
The temperatures may be cooling down, but at Wheels RV in Northwest Arkansas, the deals are still red hot. Whether you are enjoying one of over 50 state parks or tailgating with your favorite team, Wheels has the right RV to help you enjoy fall in the natural state. And at Wheels RV, every new unit comes with a lifetime warranty. So get out to Wheels and see why they were voted best RV dealership in Northwest Arkansas. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Building a home can be stressful. This is true whether you're the homeowner or the contractor. Many times these issues result in a lawsuit. If you are a homeowner or a contractor and find yourself needing legal help, call the attorneys at Kevin Hickey Law Partner. With experience representing homeowners as well as non-payment or other issues that could arise during construction. Contact Brad Hull or Kevin Hickey at 479-434-2414 in the River Valley or 479-802-6560 in Northwest Arkansas. Or check them out at the web at artriallawyers.com.
Hi folks, matchmaker Larry Rath here with a sweetheart of a deal from Rath Auto Resources. I'm on a mission to help you find the nicer, newer car of your dreams. So if the thrill is gone with your old ride, come see the best selection of Rath road-ready vehicles we've had in over 2 years. Each one hand-picked and reconditioned in our Meineke Car Care Center. Just find the one you love the best and let our friendly, non-commissioned solution specialists do the rest. With discounts up to $4,100 below retail and the highest trade-in values ever, you'll be head over heels for the deals too. Going to make it work with the car you have? Let us give it the attention it deserves in our Meineke Car Care Center with a free winter-ready inspection, half-off brakes, and buy 3 get 1 free on all tires. But hurry, this deal will be over quicker than your first crush. Start driving better today in a nicer, newer car you love from Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online, rathauto.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Arkansas football
It's the players running through the A. Hog hats. It's more than 70,000 fans calling Woo Pig Suey. Oh, yes.
Yes, sir.
Guys, I've got just one thing I want to say to you. Touchdown, Arkansas!
Arkansas wins the national championship! The Arkansas Razorbacks have completed the dream season!
This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Need a licensed electrician to service your home? For one of their local pros, call 888-8-SPARKY.
So not only did Arkansas men's basketball team defeat the Auburn Tigers this week, but the women did as well, thanks to an Amber Ramirez game winner last night. Here is Brett Dolan on the call.
Comes Ramirez. Amber with the basketball. The sixth-year senior throws one up! What is it this week about Arkansas?
No, they got time on the clock.
They win 68-66. I know Mike Neighbors was really pumped about last night's win, and it's cool to see Auburn suffer in both their football program and lose to Arkansas in both basketball, men and women this week.
Bless their hearts.
Bless their hearts.
Bless their hearts.
True bummer. Robert Moore named first-team All-SEC. Caden Wallace, Brady Slavens got second-team All-SEC. Clay, I know that you were a little disappointed not to see Caden Wallace represented some All-American lists, but it looks like he's getting respect in the All-SEC wise.
Yeah, they really have a lot of players that you could pick from, and I think that you're going to see Slavens and Wallace have big years. You know, they're thumpers. Now they've got some other thumpers that you haven't heard about. Linzelli transferred from Wake Forest, and Brofrin transferred from Oklahoma, and Turner transferred from Kent State. Those guys all have, and Nate Thompson calls them, lead in their bats. And, when they hit it, it goes a long way. But without question, the guys that are going to hit the long home runs this year, to me, are Slavens and Wallace.
Saw that Arkansas was picked first in the SEC West, but they weren't picked to win the SEC. Ole Miss had more votes to win the SEC championship.
They picked two different teams for division championships and a different team for the overall.
That happened in the SEC Media Days a couple years back in football. That's going to do it for Hog Update, brought to you by Mr. Sparky.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
I want to welcome in Sean from the Fenceman in our final Football Friday here. I haven't added the Super Bowl, but I'm going to add that to it as well as we get one last football game to select. We're not going to be picking USFL games. I don't think that picks up attention like NFL.
Well, we got college basketball coming up here for a while.
A good chunk, but no more football games. So let's go and get into it. Our Fenceman Friday.
Fenceman Friday Picks. Call the Fenceman for all kinds of fences, controlled access, and custom iron projects. 479-782-3936. The Fenceman. We ain't afraid of no work.
I got 5 things that we're going to be picking from. We're going to pick the Arkansas-Alabama game, 3 Super Bowl prop bets, and the Super Bowl itself. Sean, you got 139. You're currently still on the top of the leaderboard. Clay, you're at 130. Tommy, you're at 128, and I'm at 127.
We're all playing for second, other than Sean. So, all right, we got a lot of them. We were get through it.
Winner, chicken dinner.
That's right.
All right, Arkansas, Alabama. I'm going to give Alabama a 4.5-point edge. Fair, foul. Y'all cool with that?
At home, I think that's about right.
Okay. You got to go Arkansas or Alabama, Clay, in this one.
I got Arkansas.
Got Arkansas, Tommy.
I like that. I like those points.
Give me the Hogs.
Sean Hogs.
Suey. You know it.
Just don't feel great about this game coming off that win and playing Alabama. You didn't fare well there last year. I know this is a different team, but I think if you had Arkansas was going to cut it closer than that, I think I'm going to go with Alabama in this one, try and gain a leg up on y'all on the points in this one. All right. Will Peyton Manning bowl a strike in his Michelob Ultra Super Bowl commercial? They showed a preview. Mm-hmm. Will he bowl a strike, Tommy? Yes
Absolutely.
Or no?
He's a superstar. They're not going to make him look. He's not going to hang the split out there. Strike for Peyton.
Clay?
Yeah, I think it's probably rigged.
Sean?
Kind of like pro wrestling.
No. They're going to show him making a mistake.
Okay.
They're going to show you no matter how great you are, you still.
I think he'll yell Omaha loud enough that the last pin will fall over.
Okay. He's got. I'm going to say.
No, Sean. That's like expecting you to hang a gate crooked. It ain't going to happen.
Uh-huh. Easy now.
There's been a crooked gate before.
We are human and we tend to err. The one thing you can count on me, though, I don't give up. I'll hang it 20. I'll fix it.
What color are Snoop Dogg's shoes going to be during the halftime show?
Oh, Clay's going to nail this one.
Multicolored.
Silver.
Silver.
Okay. Clay, you got to narrow it down to one color.
Well, if it's multicolored, I could be right.
I don't think Vegas will take that bet, sir.
Okay, then they'll be white.
White. Tommy?
Gold.
Man, I thought about 80s gold. I bet that's probably,
I'm going to say silver. So we've got Sean saying silver, Clay saying white, and then I'll go in silver as well.
Went platinum.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, if they turn out to be multicolored, you're going to give me a point too, though, right?
Sure, Clay.
Okay.
The hedge bet.
Yep.
What color is the Gatorade bath going to be on the game-winning coach, Tommy?
Blue.
Because you think it's going to be Los Angeles?
I'm going blue.
Clay?
Yeah, I mean, I think that would
Hang
be
on. Multicolored.
I don't think you can have multicolored liquid. That's never been done.
Yeah.
It would be frozen. It could be multicolored, but if it's liquid.
Nothing gets by you, Clay.
Yeah.
I think probably blue.
Yeah, you're putting a little too much thought in that. All
Sean?
Oh, man. Red.
Yeah.
I got to go different. I'm sorry.
I'm going to go orange because I think the Bengals are going to win this game.
And it's probably going to be up standard green. But
somebody will actually win money on this bet.
All right, the Rams are -4. I just gave you my pick. I think the Bengals and Joe Burrow are going to get this done. He's got the Joe name, and I think he's going to be the third Joe in the history to win a Super Bowl and a national championship.
See, I'll go next. The Bengals have really struggled against NFC teams, and I think the Rams will. I think they got this.
I really want the Bengals to win, but I think Aaron Donald's too much. I'll take the Rams.
Defense. Yeah. Pick defense in the Super Bowl.
Yep.
I'm going to go with the Bengals. For some reason, they just seem to keep squeaking it out.
Even when they fall behind. They
at the last minute.
There's a chance that there could be double-digit sacks on Joe Burrow in this game, the way that Aaron Donald and Von Miller and those guys rushed the quarterback. But he got sacked 9 times against Tennessee. They still found a way to win. I think Joe Burrow's going to do just enough in this football game. Stafford's going to throw a crucial interception that hurts Los Angeles, and I think that Joe Burrow is going to do just enough to put them over the top.
Is this one going? They got to bet if this is going to go into overtime? Because I mean, every game's been overtime.
I think the Super Bowl goes into overtime. When's the last time we've had one of those? Was it the
2 year
Patriots and Falcons? Right.
I think it was Brady. Yeah.
I think it was Patriots and Falcons back in the day. Tom, a game that Tom wishes he could forget.
Yeah. That's This is the week that I'm coming for you, Sean.
Come on.
Yep.
You got your 7-point play built up here. I guess we got enough bets.
No,
you
but
can
I mean, but I could make it a game again. It's there's been no pressure on Sean.
Yeah.
This is the week where
Super Bowl week's the time to do that.
And then if we can put pressure on him, he might make a mistake.
I might do a clean sweep on this one.
Well, I might. with your luck and the way it's been going, you're right. Hey, you're still looking for people to join the team? Apply in person, 1213 North 32nd Street. They can come see you, and you're looking for people with fence building, construction, or welding skills to come over and talk to you.
A craftsman, someone takes pride in their work. You want to learn the trade. You got common sense. You're my kind of guy.
Well, it's not as common as it used to be anymore.
You
guys did some new gates for me a couple of weeks ago. They look awesome. We really appreciate it. So
thank you for the opportunity.
Real nice. So 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. Ask about your $500 sign-on bonus as well. It's the Fitz Man, an equal opportunity employer. Enjoy the Super Bowl, my man.
We will. Yep. Right. And then I won't see y'all for 2 weeks. I'm going on vacation. Out.
Good for you.
Take it, man. Take the vacation.
Now, that's how we can get ahead in the standings.
Standard Materials Group has immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you have a CDL license without an automatic restriction and want to be home every night, want to work with a company that offers great pay, benefits, and a great team environment with growth opportunities, apply today at jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
Takes great work ethic to make any job last 10 years, especially one in the NFL. Hi, this is Brett Good with Henderson Phillips. I spent 10 years playing in the NFL. Now I bring that same work ethic to Henderson Phillips to provide you and your business with the best employee benefit plans, for the best prices. Call or text me at 479-651-2292, and let's talk about getting the most value for your employee benefits. I am Brett Good with Henderson Phillips. Call me today at 479-651-2292.
Make your backyard dreams a reality this summer with an in-ground pool from Burton Pools and Spas. Save $5,000 this month on select in-ground pools. And with payments starting at $290 a month, your own backyard oasis is not out of reach. Be one of the first 7 families to call and receive a free upgrade to a saltwater system, a nearly $2,000 value. Save $5,000 and get a free upgrade at Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith, and online at burtonpools.com.
At Clay Maxey Auto Group, making the relationship has been what we've always been about. Can't control the market, but we can control who we are and how we act every day. And we're just going to be really good at being us. It's always been more than just selling the cars or servicing them. It's a people business. We're here to take care of the customer. To me, it's important that it's about the relationship, not the transaction. Come visit us today at Clay Maxey Auto Group.
Did you know that sometimes roof damage goes unnoticed? Have you seen a few houses in your neighborhood get new roofs in the past couple of years? It could be that your roof has damage. Brothers Roofing and Restoration is a properly licensed and insured local roofing contractor in Arkansas. Brother Alexander has over 25 years of experience in home insurance adjusting and residential roofing. Let Brother come do a free inspection of your roof. He'll give you a complete analysis of your roof and work with your insurance company if it needs to be replaced. So call 479-353-3877 to arrange a time for Brother to inspect your roof.
Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer opens like every other seltzer, pours like every other seltzer, but it's not like every other seltzer. USDA certified organic, no added sugar, and low cal, so you've never seen another seltzer quite like it. And with new refreshing flavors like black cherry and watermelon strawberry, you've never tasted one like it either. Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer, as real as it tastes. Enjoy responsibly, not a low-calorie food. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer, IRC Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Are your real estate investments being properly managed? Are you sending a check or cashing a check each month? If you're tired of your current property managers, then call Trinity Multifamily. Trinity will qualify your tenants and leases, inspect your properties, and take care of maintenance and provide you with web-based access to current financial reports, leases, and pictures of your property. Call Trinity Multifamily at 479-452-1817 or online at trinitymultifamily.com. Trinity Multifamily, your teammate in the real estate game.
Elite Roofing is a locally owned roofing contractor. If you're building a new home or maybe need a new roof on your existing home, Elite Roofing can take care of you. Elite Roofing is known for their dependability and reliability. Just ask any of their satisfied customers. They are licensed and insured, and references are available upon request. If you need a roof, call your local roofing contractors. Elite Roofing, 478-8668. That's 478-8668. Elite Roofing, 478-8668.
Get the best value, service, and TV locally with personal service from WOW World of Wireless, your neighborhood professional Dish authorized retailer. Stop in and ask us about the Hopper 3, Dish's most advanced DVR that delivers a premium viewing experience. Tired of running out of DVR space? With the Hopper 3, you can record up to 2,000 hours of your favorite programming and watch your very own favorite channels and DVR recordings anywhere you go on your phone or tablet. Call now. WOW World of Wireless. 877-305-DISH. That's 877-305-3474 for more details. Or online at shopwownow.com. World of Wireless is located at 601 Church Street in Barling next to Frank Rowe Furniture. That's 601 Church Street in Barling. Come see us at our new location.
Monthly equipment fees and other restrictions apply. Recording hours vary. 2,000 hours based on SD programming. Remote viewing requires internet connection and compatible mobile device. Harry Robinson Buick GMC is the River Valley's truck superstore. No one has a bigger selection of new and pre-owned trucks. If you need a regular cab work truck, Harry has them, and the biggest selection you'll find anywhere. Over 60 full-size pre-owned trucks are in stock now, and over 250 pre-owned vehicles are on the lot. And for the first time in 90 days, new 2021 trucks are on the ground. When the other dealers don't have it, Harry does. The area's truck superstore, Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, plenty of sunshine, our high low 60s north, low 70s south. We will see an increase in the cloud cover tonight. Overnight lows will drop down mid-20s north, mid-30s south, and then we may see just a few passing rain showers, especially across the south on Saturday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Weather is brought to you by Ramos Roofing, specializing in all roofing needs. 479-420-9903.
You're listening to The Morning Rush, live from the Busch Light Studios on ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris Fort Smith. This hour of The Morning Rush is brought to you by Farm Credit. From farms to land, livestock, equipment, and more, Farm Credit finances it all. Learn more at myaglender.com.
Just your thoughts on where the athletic department is right now with his leadership.
Hunter's done a great job. I've worked for a lot of athletic directors, but I just like the way he approaches everything. He communicates really well with the coaches. He's all about student-athlete, but he's all about the coaches as well. And he just treats you with respect, and I appreciate it so much. And he's done a great job. And I think our athletic department's in great hands, and I sure hope that Hunter never gets away from here.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
People who really want to have a good time won't come to a slaughterhouse. And we've got entirely too many troublemakers here.
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
I don't like you because you're dangerous. That's right. I am dangerous.
Streaming live from
Hit that line.
.com.
I hit the 7-iron like John Daly hits the 3.
This is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson.
You just got to keep living, man.
And Tommy Kraft.
We follow orders or people die. Are we clear?
The Morning Rush starts right now.
Yes, sir.
All right, it's hour 3 of the Morning Rush. Going to talk Arkansas, Alabama with Matt McClearin, Jocks 94.5 coming up in just a little bit. We'll also talk about the great impact, TV ratings-wise, you had against Auburn on Tuesday night. Pretty incredible to see it being the most watched ESPN2 college basketball game in 3 to 4 years, Tommy.
Yeah, so good conversation with Matt coming up. Been a fun week. We'll carry it on with Arkansas and Bama tomorrow. Hey, since 1968, Teeter Motors has been around in Malvern, but many of you listening out there remember Darrell Teeter and the old slogan, the deals are always sweeter at Teeter. You may not realize they've expanded, and not only are they in Malvern with a great selection there, but they're also in Mena and Sheridan, and of course online at TeeterMotors.com. They've got a full lineup right now at Teeter Motors in Malvern. That means they can sell at very competitive prices right now. If you've been to other dealers, they don't have what you're looking for. Get to Malvern, get to Mena, or to Sheridan, and get a sweet deal at Teeter's because they can help you avoid those high prices. They've been around since 1968. They have always been the car dealer where you can meet the owner, introduce yourself, and really feel like you're getting hometown service. And Denny Teeter is there. He's carried on that tradition of detail to service and making a sweet deal for you. So follow the Teeter Motors trail and visit them in Malvern, Mena, or in Sheridan, or online at TeeterMotors.com. The deals are always sweeter at Teeter.
Matt, appreciate you making some time for us this morning. You look at this Alabama team. They've beaten Baylor. They've beaten Gonzaga. But then they've gone on the road and lost to Georgia. Really quality wins on their resume, but some puzzling losses. Why do you think Alabama has been inconsistent this season?
You live by the 3, you die by the 3. And I think that has a lot to do with it. It's an interesting philosophy that Nate Oates has offensively. When you look at Alabama offensively, their offensive efficiency is actually better than it was last year. But I say that about the three-point shot because, and he's talked about this, Coach Oates has talked about this, when they have games in which they shoot poorly, they allow that to kind of get into their defensive mentality, and they don't play the same type of defense on that end of the floor, which has really hurt them this year. Defensively, when you look at Alabama, they were one of the best defensive teams in the nation last year. They were top 3. This year they've dropped all the way to 75th. I think that that's the big key, that for whatever reason, this group of young guys, they find a way to get up for high-quality competition, but they don't seem to put as much effort as importance into some of the lower-level competition that has surprisingly beaten them consistently throughout the year.
Arkansas fans remember John Petty from last year. He's no longer on this year's team, graduated, but he torched Arkansas in Tuscaloosa and then had a little altercation in Fayetteville. But the guy to watch this year to me is Jaden Shackelford. Had 30 against Ole Miss. I love watching lefties, and this kid can play. How important is his presence and his scoring going to be against that tenacious Razorback defense tomorrow, Matt?
I think it's absolutely huge, and I would agree with you. I mean, this is one thing that we've all been trying to figure out is who on this team, there's no Jones, like you mentioned, there's no Petty. Who's going to emerge as the leader? And believe it or not, with whatever it is, 6-7 games left in the regular season, they're still trying to answer that question. Well, Jaden Shackelford in the last couple of games, I think, has really kind of started to take over that role a little bit, kind of to understand, like what you're mentioning. He had a phenomenal game their last game out when he went bonkers from the three-point line. He hit 8 of 13. It was his best shooting night. It was Alabama's best shooting night from the three-point line in like 10 years. But you look at Jaden Shackelford, and again, he has the ability when he's hot, it seems to affect the rest of the team. He can hit from the perimeter. He's a guy who can get inside. And you'll notice this when they play. One thing that they like to do with their guards is they like to try to get that penetration in the paint. And then if it's not there, what that does is it helps to kick out and hit some of these open threes. That's really kind of how the offense is designed. And a lot of that starts with their guards, with Shackelford and also the other one, Javon Quinterly.
Yeah. Matt, we were talking earlier in the show about what the outcome of this game means. What's the dividend for the winner? And we were looking at, maybe not just seeding in the tournament, but also placement at regionals. What do you think is the dividend for the winner in this game between Arkansas and Bama tomorrow?
I think it's huge for Arkansas, honestly. Coleman Coliseum is not the easiest place on the planet to play, as you guys know. I mean, for whatever reason, and it's like this throughout the course of the SEC, but Alabama, especially this year, when they've been at home, for the most part, has been a different team than a true road game. Now, obviously, they beat Gonzaga. It wasn't considered a true road game. It's a neutral site game, even though it was in Seattle. But you look at what Alabama can do at Coleman Coliseum. Arkansas, to me, coming off we all watched that game on Tuesday night against Auburn. I mean, that scene was insane. That type of emotion, that type of energy, all those people at home at Bud Walton, and now you're going off. And this is, I think, what gets interesting for Arkansas. Can you replicate that? It's an early tip. It's an 11 a.m. tip on a Saturday morning. Can you overcome the natural emotional letdown that every team experiences after a game like that and keep it up against an Alabama team who finally got a win and who knows that they need to finish strong? I don't know how much that a win like this does for Alabama other than to keep them going in the right direction. It gives them a chance to build momentum. They've got Kentucky on the road coming up in about a week or so. But for Arkansas, to me, I think that the benefit of winning this game probably sends a message. We should be in the top 25. Let's get in there, and really helps people to start turning their heads and noticing what they're doing. I mean, coming in, it would be their 10th win in a row. They've been red hot lately.
Mm-hmm. And I would assume I'm correct in the assumption that universally Crimson Tide fans were all Razorback fans on Tuesday night. That the Auburn hate is that strong, even in basketball, that nobody that is a Crimson Tide fan was not rooting for the Razorbacks. Is that accurate?
Oh yeah, that's 100% accurate. Yeah. I mean, that's one of those things where it's hilarious. Look, and I tell Alabama fans this all the time: Auburn's better than them. Auburn is a flat out better basketball team, and they had a couple of opportunities to try and prove otherwise. And even at Coleman, they couldn't do it. So yeah, Alabama fans like to think that they're not that big of a separation between the two. So Alabama fans in this area were ecstatic on Tuesday night that the Razorbacks got that done.
So you look at Nate Oates and Bruce Pearl. Those are two quality coaches in that state. You bringing up that Auburn right now has a better basketball program, which I don't think a lot of people would be able to argue against. How much has those two coaches individually heightened not just the rivalry in basketball, but just the love for basketball in that state, Matt, in a heavy football state?
I got to give Bruce Pearl a lot of credit. I mean, he is kind of the guy down at Auburn that comes in, and everybody knows this is not unique that he's doing this at Auburn. He's that energetic guy. He's that positive guy. He really buys into what it is. And, you know, one of the things that set Alabama fans off here is when they slaughtered Alabama down at Auburn Arena a couple of weeks ago, and they did the crane kick, which was one thing that, you know, some of the Alabama wide receivers had done during the football season. Alabama fans went nuts over that. And it's one of those things that we all know about the Iron Bowl on the field. The basketball game here, quite honestly, has just kind of been an afterthought a lot of years. The fact that Auburn now is really good, Bruce Pearl has them with some of the best players in the country. Alabama fans, I think, are a little jealous of that. I think they get a little irritated at the fact that their basketball team has not quite experienced the level of success as Auburn. So it's raised the profile of that entire rivalry. And, you know, Nate Oates has recruited well, and Nate Oates, obviously Alabama had a really good basketball team last year. They're good this year, but they have not quite been on that level of what Auburn's been able to accomplish. And when 65% of the state is Alabama fans, I think that really gets under their skin and raises the profile of basketball all around.
Matt McClearin, Jocks 94.5 with us here on the Morning Rush. Matt, it's funny you mentioned that because Arkansas players following the win Tuesday night did the Karate Kid, the exact same thing, because I guess they thought it was just an Auburn thing, but that's a Jamison Williams, John Mechie, and Slade Bolden thing that they were doing throughout the season, so I kind of find that entertaining that Arkansas players were doing that following Tuesday night's win. Now, I do want to ask you about what's going on with the Auburn football program and Brian Harson. I saw that video of him walking out of that SEC meeting. He basically did a circle around that car, and I guarantee you that is just eating up all your sports radio content this week, is hearing what's going down with that football program. What's the latest you're hearing on when Auburn is going to ultimately make that decision to terminate Brian Harson?
This is one of the more fascinating things I think that I've ever covered in my career, because it started a week ago. A week ago, my entire show on Friday was basically Brian Harson this and Brian Harson that because of stuff that had come out on Thursday night. And here we are a week later. We all thought, okay, well, what's going to happen? I'd be shocked if he has a job come Monday. And 7 days later, the guy is still there. From what I understand is he and his representation and Auburn and their representation have been meeting a couple of times, and this has really become more of a negotiation. They want to find a way to fire Brian Harson with cause so that they can walk away from this without having to pay his $18 whatever million payout that it is. And Brian Harson has dug his heels in and said, no, there is no cause. You're not going to fire me, and if you do, I want my entire full buyout. And so this is a really interesting battle between these two to see how long they're going to let this drag out. If I'm Auburn, I mean, at some point, is it really worth doing this because you want to save $9-10 million? I mean, the fact that this has been a national story now, and people and the negativity and the perception of what Auburn is doing right here is a real bad look from them. And I honestly don't know, guys. I mean, at this point, I wouldn't be shocked if anything happens. I can't believe that he is still the coach 1 week later after all the smoke and everything that we've been hearing that's going on down there.
Yeah, and I thought it was odd that he continued his vacation. I mean, I kept saying if someone was trying to root me out of my job and I was on vacation, I'd be on the first flight back if I was in his situation. Did you find it odd that he just continued on with vacation and he wasn't there in the captain's chair when all the rough waters were hitting?
It was a little odd, the timing of that whole thing, but at the same time, for me, what I think it is, and I've talked about this, I think he knows that he's done, and I think he's making sure that he does everything the way he wants to do it so that he doesn't do anything. He hasn't, at least so far from what we understand. Auburn hasn't found that smoking gun. So that's one thing. I mean, you guys know this. They had the SEC head coaches meeting yesterday in Birmingham, and we were all curious, okay, is Auburn going to send Brian Harson? Sure enough, Brian Harson was the first coach there and was there all day, same as everybody else. So that was surprising, but he is doing everything he's supposed to do while Auburn conducts an investigation around him, just trying to find anything they can find so that they can get rid of the guy. I don't know how this works out any other way, and it's really strange to me that not a single person from Auburn, other than players, but anybody above him, any other coach, anybody, has come out in support of Brian Harson, even saying anything. Hey, right now, Brian Harson is our head coach of the Auburn football program. We haven't heard anything from any of the power players down there at Auburn at all that supports him, which to me tells you everything you need to know that it's just a matter of time.
So when this divorce is finalized and Brian Harson and Auburn split ways and go their own separate directions, who is the next head coach, in your opinion, at Auburn?
Oh, that's the $64 million question, whatever you want it to be. It's, Hugh Freeze supposedly has gone through some back channels and has expressed some interest. I don't know what his buyout would be at Liberty. And keep in mind, he just signed that contract extension there at the end of the season last year that's supposed to keep him there through 2028. I don't know what direction they want to go. They've got a guy now in Harson who doesn't want to play the game that the boosters down there want him to play. Matt Rule would be an interesting name to me. Everybody talks about how he's unhappy in Carolina and would love to come back to the college game. But again, is that type of coach going to be able to work with the situation and the way that the Auburn boosters control that program? And if not, then they're just going to have to go find another puppet, because that's worked. I mean, the puppets have worked. They won a national title in 2010. They played for one in 2013. But who is that puppet that'll come out there that will allow the boosters, the powers that be, to kind of tell him what to do and still find a way to have success on the football field? I don't know who that name is right now. Maybe it's Jeff Grimes, the Baylor offensive coordinator who has some connections to Auburn, looking for a first-time head coach opportunity. That'd be somebody that could come in. I think Del McGee at Georgia, he's the running backs coach, but neither of those guys have ever been a head coach at any level. And all they've done is assistant coaching, but they have those Auburn connections and kind of understand what that program and what that whole facility is like down there in terms of dealing with the boosters.
Well, Matt, we'll let you go with this. As an institution we cover that just hired a football coach that didn't have any coordinator experience or head coaching at the SEC level. It seemed to have worked out for Arkansas, so you just never know if it's a culture fit, it's the right fit. It could work down there at Auburn. Matt McClearin, Jocks 94.5, Matt McClearin Show. Matt, we really appreciate your time this morning, giving us insight on this Alabama-Arkansas game tomorrow and just giving us some details what's going down in Auburn, Alabama right now with that football program.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Anytime.
All right, we'll get Clay Henry's reaction to that conversation in just a moment. First, let me tell you about Burton Pools and Spas. You can get up to $5,000 off select in-ground pools right now. That means payments as low as $290 a month when you plan the backyard of your dreams right now and get on the schedule for summer with Burton Pools and Spas. In-ground pools, the way to make that backyard oasis that you've always dreamed about a reality this year, and be one of the first 7 families to sign up, get a free upgrade to a saltwater pool. That's a $2,000 upgrade, yours free right now at Burton Pools and Spas. Springdale and in Fort Smith, and online at burtonpools.com.
Clay, Matt brought up Herb Jones, and that's a name that a lot of SEC fans know from last year. Just a really solid basketball player for the Crimson Tide, and is playing right now for the New Orleans Pelicans. They don't have him this year. They don't have a guy like him this year, and it really seems like that he might be the missing link on a team that won the SEC championship this past year.
Yeah, what he was able to do is a big guy that could shoot the three, and that is so huge because they don't have anybody of that size that would take Jalen Williams away from the basket. So the same thing happened when they played Auburn. It's that Kessler could play goalie, and Jalen Williams can, he can take charges and he can block shots. And, Auburn does two things. Alabama does two things. They're going to shoot a three or they're going to shoot a layup. They don't take any mid-range shots at all. That's not, they tell you, that's not what they're going to do. They want to shoot a three or drive to the basket, either get fouled or shoot a layup. And without Herb Jones or without a big man that can shoot threes, you have to guard Jalen Williams away from the basket, and that is so important for the Arkansas guards. And the same thing is lacking at Alabama. They've got that coming next year. Their signing class, like I said earlier in the program, 6'7", 6'8", 6'9", I think maybe a 6'10", and they all can shoot. So that just, that changes the dynamics of what you got. And Arkansas is bigger at almost every position. And so that's their advantage in this game. Now, we know that Alabama shoots threes much better at home. They shot them on the road against Ole Miss, but they have not shot the ball as well this year as they did consistently last year. And, I think Arkansas has a chance. Yeah. But it's and you guys have nailed it exactly right. The whole deal this week is, can you come back to a decent level, Mm-hmm. 3 or 4 days after being in one of those up and away levels.
That's why that extra day playing Tuesday.
It's important.
I think it's more important this week because of what happened than ever before. And maybe even if you'd lost in disappointing fashion, getting over the disappointment, getting over the mountaintop and the jubilation of beating number one, just another 24 hours to process it is, I think, going to pay a bigger dividend than you realize come tomorrow.
Yeah, I think the players understand that Alabama is an important game. I think they've known all along that this is one of those that if you can win, it's on your resume, and it really means a lot to the selection committee because it's a top tier team that has, they have all quad one games.
Yeah. Hey, 30, 45 seconds on this before we got to run, but just kind of sum up. We didn't really spend a lot of time with you on the Auburn mess with their football program, but what were your thoughts about what Matt had to say, what's going on there on the Plains? Yeah,
it's we've talked about this several times in the last week, and maybe it was on the midday show, but it's all about recruiting, and Harson, I think, is one of those guys that, he's kind of locked in the ivory tower, and the boosters aren't out at practice, and they want to come out and watch practice, and him walk over and say, hey, what do you think about that guy? What and whether you do anything they say is kind of inconsequential, but you have to act like you're listening to him. And he would not play that game. And Kevin Steele did to a certain extent. And that's why I keep thinking that he might be the player behind the scenes if they can't work out contract deals. And they're going to fire him, and they'll probably settle for less than that, that $18 million. Yeah. And then he'll, kind of fly off to Idaho, where he's from. And he's going to disappear. He's not going to be like Eddie O and hang out on the beach. He's going to go back to, somewhere out west.
Yeah. The one thing he may be negotiating is how quick he gets all of his money rather than paid out more money over time. He gets half up front and then the rest paid out. So that's one thing, but I cannot see him coaching a game there this year. Hey, our friends at Matchstick Studios can create you a great-looking website for your business. If you got a new business that you have recently formed or one on the way, you've got to have a great-looking website. If not, you're missing new customers and potential leads. And right now, with Super Bowl weekend coming up, winter months ahead, colder weather, people are just online more. Call Jordan at Matchstick Studios. Let them go to work for you. And by the way, it's just $95 a month for a great-looking website. 479-755-3043. That's 755-3043, or see more at modularorange.com.
We'll go to the races next with Lane Whitman on the Morning Rush.
Here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Now that's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sacalé, paper mouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
The phrase in dire straits originated in the 1400s from sailors having to carefully navigate their vessels through narrow passages to avoid a shipwreck. So Far Away from Dire Straits is a song lamenting the struggle of a long-distance relationship over the phone. Mark Knopfler said, "It's a joke. It can't really be done over a long period of time because you both get exhausted with it. Sin has put us in dire straits with God, and that's why he feels so far away." Jesus said the passage to God is a narrow way, and he promised when he went so far away, the Holy Spirit would be here to stay. This isn't some hunch or intuition, but a conviction navigating you to God's holy word. When you have a real relationship with God, you have the person of the Spirit living inside you, guiding your walk of life every step of the way. Don't trust your feelings. Look up John chapter 16 and see if it sends you reeling. I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Read about it.
BetOnline has you covered for all the holiday season. More props, odds, and lines than ever before. BetOnline remains your number one spot for all sports action. Head to our new updated desktop or
changing the communities we serve.
River City Bistro is Fort Smith's favorite place for lunch, dinner, and brunch. Open 7 days a week, both on the patio and cozy dining room. River City Bistro, locally owned and open weekdays 11 till 8, Saturdays 10 till 8, and Sundays 10 till 3. Want River City Bistro curbside to go? Just search on Facebook or Instagram for River City Bistro or go to rcbistro.com. River City Bistro, 7320 Rogers Avenue in the Stonewood Village Shopping Center.
Here's an awesome addition to your toolbox at an amazing price. Whether you're a do-it-yourselfer or pro, right now Metters Lumber True Value has the DeWalt 37-piece screwdriving set for just $14.99. The tough snap-close case holds a wide assortment of bits and nut drivers for almost any project on your list. Each bit is cut from shock-resistant tool steel, and the snub-nose design fits perfectly into hex socket adapters. Head over to Metters Lumber True Value to save on this bargain of the month now, while supplies last.
Jelco Outdoors is your Valentine gift store for that special Valentine on your list. For the guys, check out the great selection of pocket knives, fishing equipment, hunting supplies, work and casual clothing, work and western boots, and a great selection of handguns, rifles, and shotguns. Just arrived a new selection of Duke Cannon soaps, colognes, and personal care items. Give your Valentine a gift from Jelco Outdoors. And of course, a Jelco gift card always fits. Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
Doe's Eat Place, serving award-winning steaks, has now added lobster tail and salmon to the menu. You can also enjoy delicious appetizers along with your choice of drinks from the largest selection of wines, beer, and liquor in the River Valley. Doe's Eat Place is open Tuesday through Thursday 5 till 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended. Call 784-9111. That's 784-9111. Doe's Eat Place, 422 North 3rd Street, Fort Smith.
Needing your roof repaired? Ramos Roofing is a local company that has over 25 years of experience, specializing in your residential or commercial roofing needs in the Oklahoma area. Ramos Roofing, a company you can trust, offering discounts to senior citizens, law enforcement, or healthcare workers, and assists in your insurance claims. Ramos Roofing, standing behind their work so you can stand under it. Call 479-420-9903. That's 420-9903. Ramos Roofing, working with you to build a better home.
You have a job, kids, and a million things to do in no time, and now your car needs to be serviced or fixed or tires? Jody'sAuto.com will make your life easier. Free shuttle service. Pickup delivery service free when you spend $75 and only $10 if less. Jody'sAuto.com will make your life easier and take better care of your vehicle at the same time. Hi, Kim Bircher. See, the thing is, Jody'sAuto.com does everything. Everyday oil change specials. Tires are price matched, including the warehouse clubs and all the best brands. Any services, brakes, alignments, all the way to engines, and any maintenance. You are trusting your vehicle to a local company in business for 37 years. Voted best of the best time and time again. Honesty and customer service is always our number one goal. We will make your life much easier. Jody'sAuto.com. JODYS Auto.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
Note in the lane, trying to feed Williams. Jalen underneath, gets it to go and one.
Have you listened to Trusting the Process on the Hit That Line podcast network yet? Check it out on hitthatline.com or search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts.
All right, we'll head to the races, get you ready for a weekend of racing that returns at Oaklawn after the weather last week. First, let's talk to our friend Larry Rath at Rath Auto Resources in Fort Smith and in Springdale. Speaking of weather, it's always carbine weather. It's going to be another great weekend at Rath Auto Resources. Larry, good morning.
Good morning, Tommy. You're exactly right. I mean, this weather, man, I've got spring fever so bad. I'm sure a lot of other folks do too. But, one of the things that we can take care of for you is your nicer, newer car. And we do it for folks every day. And, we do it in a different kind of a way. I mean, the first thing is the product. These cars are all hand-picked. They're run through our Meineke Car Care Centers for a full inspection. They got to get through Sean and his bunch out there in detail, and those guys are so picky. You know, you can't buy a better used car than a Rath Road Ready used car. Then we use live market value pricing to ensure that you can't pay too much. You cannot pay too much for a used car at Rath Auto Resources, so we kind of make that easy. Then we employ non-commissioned solution specialists, and that's different. You know, these guys aren't trying to sell you something you don't need or don't want. They don't care which one you get as long as it's exactly the right one for you. They take care of all the details, you know, your trade-in, your payoff, getting your price and payment to fit your budget. When that all comes together, you win and they win. It's really a better way to take care of those guys, a better way to take care of our customers. And then that terrific Meineke Car Care service after the sale. Nobody else can offer that combination. It really is what makes it a better way to drive. And folks, you got to have a car. You got to drive. You might want to do that in a better way, and you can do that at Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center. The new Mitsubishis at Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale are fantastic, guys. I don't know if you've seen the new Outlander, terrific vehicle. The redesigned Eclipse Cross is fantastic. We've got the Mirages, you know, cheaper than a used car right now. What a great deal on those. The Outlander Sports, again, a vehicle that's, I think we're going to be able to sell those this spring cheaper than what used cars are. And so they really represent a great value. And with that 5-year, 100,000-mile warranty, that can't be beat. So lots of great things going on. It's going to be a fun weekend. Lots of folks getting their nicer, newer cars. You could, too. Rath Auto Resources in Fort Smith, Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale. Check us out online, rathauto.com.
Larry, have a great weekend. We'll talk to you next week.
Thanks, guys. Y'all have a good one. Folks, come and see us.
All right, Rath Auto Resource. Time to head to the races. Another big weekend of racing coming up at Oaklawn after laying last weekend. The weather was the reason we couldn't have any racing. Get to have our conversation last week. Glad to have you back, and I know everybody's looking forward to a return to Oaklawn today.
I'm glad to be back, and is it just me, or does it seem like it's been off more than just the one weekend? I'm ready to talk about Oaklawn.
Yeah. All right, our Oaklawn update brought to you by Calico County, just off Rogers Avenue behind Randall Ford, and by Brothers Roofing. Hey, new first post times for this weekend. Got the Super Bowl going on, Valentine's going on. I know Hot Springs is going to be a happening place.
Yeah, first post time looks like on Friday and Sunday is 1 p.m. with 11 races tomorrow. First post is 12:10, so they're moving it up and make sure it doesn't get too dark for those final couple races. And tomorrow is a big day at Oaklawn. There's 2 Grade 3 stakes races. One of them should have been ran last weekend, the Bayacoa. They rescheduled it for this weekend. It goes as the 8th race. It's a 7-horse field led by Materna and Coach, both trained by Brad Cox. Looks like a real tough field. Looking forward to that one. And the feature that was supposed to be on this day is now the co-feature. The 10th race is the Razorback Handicap, a very tough 9-horse field with 6 or 7 horses. I think I can make a case for that they can win. It's going to be a great betting race. You can listen to Scott Blair and myself's podcast, The Horse Right Here on Hit That Line, as we break down both of those races.
All right, before we get to your Friday pick and your long shot of the day, let's take a look at maybe the trainer and the jockey standings heading into this weekend here on Super Bowl weekend.
I believe Ricardo Santana is at the top of the jockey standings. Brad Cox at the top of the trainer standings. Of course, Steve Asmussen is battling Brad Cox, and probably Asmussen is going to end up the year on top of the trainer standings just for the sheer numbers of horses he has over Brad Cox. But right now, I think Cox has a short lead.
All right, let's talk about your long shot and your best pick of the day for that. I know you got a 20-1 horse that you've kind of got zeroed in on the morning line this morning.
Yeah, I'm looking at the 5th race today. Horse number 8, Latin Casino, 20-1 on the morning line. Now, you just look at the last race this horse ran. He came in 9th, nothing to be excited about. He had traffic issues running down the stretch last time that prevented him from probably finishing a little better than 9th place, and that was at the $50,000 claiming level. You look one race back, he ran at the $20,000 claiming level, ran a pretty good race, so much that they moved him up to $50,000 in his last one. And that race, I believe, is good enough to win at the $30,000 claiming level that he's running today. He will have to beat horse number 2, Salado. That is the horse to beat. And if Atlantic Casino can beat that one, I believe he can get the money and we can get a nice price.
All right, check out the new podcast at hitthatline.com and get more in-depth detail on handicapping for this weekend. Laying at the Railbird 333 for all your picks. We'll talk to you next Friday.
Look forward to it, Tommy.
All right, you can get all of Lang's picks each and every week. And again, the new podcast, you can get a full breakdown of the Oaklawn cards coming up for this weekend. Our update is always brought to you by Calico County, just off Rogers Avenue behind Randall Ford, and by Brothers Roofing. 353-3877 is the number to get a hold of Brother Alexander, with over 25 years of experience in the roofing process from both the insurance adjuster side and from the roofing side. So Brother's got the know-how to maximize your insurance benefits, properly licensed and insured, and lead crews with over 17 years of experience. They've got everything you need to make sure that your roof is done right. That's 353-3877 for Brothers Roofing. All right, stand by. Our SEC update is on the way as we close out a Football Friday on the Morning Rush.
Find us on 99.5 and 1290 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith in the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs in Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, 97.1 in Camden and South Arkansas, and everywhere on hitthatline.com.
Day 209 on the island. There is still no rescue in sight. I long for the simple comforts of home. The leather seats, the spacious interior, the 12.3-inch touchscreen display, and of course, the panoramic moonroof. If I could only gaze through it one more time.
Jerry!
What?
Stop talking about your Highlander and help me with the raft!
Frank seems more agitated than normal lately. Could it possibly be because he, too, misses my Toyota Highlander?
No, Jerry! It's not because I miss your Highlander! And stop acting like I can't hear you!
Yes, that must be it. Comparing his sad raft to my sleek-looking Highlander has finally broken him.
Just stop.
Experience the unforgettable 2022 Toyota Highlander for yourself. Visit your local dealer or go to Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. See packages and options at Toyota.com for feature availability.
Standard Materials Group has immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you have a CDL license without an automatic restriction and want to be home every night, want to work with a company that offers great pay, benefits, and a great team environment with growth opportunities, apply today at jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
In stock now and available for sales on these dates at the Golf Nut. TaylorMade Stealth Carbon Face Driver February 4th. Cobra LTD X Woods Hybrids and Irons February 11th. And Callaway Rogue ST February the 18th. They have a great selection of new shoes from FootJoy, Nike, Adidas, New Balance, Echo, and Puma. And don't forget about the golf balls from brands like Titleist, TaylorMade, Callaway, Srixon, Bridgestone, and Vice. Check Facebook for daily specials. The Golf Nut, 5121 Towson Avenue in Fort Smith. Your number one golf shop since 1994.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Would printing from your phone or tablet make your life easier? Are you emailing files to yourself so that you can print them from your desktop or laptop? The Xerox VersaLink and AltaLink lines of network printers and multifunction printers will natively print using your phone's built-in capabilities. Apple AirPrint and Google Cloud Printing just work. To order yours today, give us a call at 783-6600 or visit dixiedigital.com. Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One has a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Have your travel plans changed? Looking for a place that's close to home and keep your family safe? Gaston's White River Resort is located on the beautiful White River. They offer private accommodations in their lodges and cabins. Most cabins have a fully equipped kitchen or let their restaurant staff deliver to your cabin. Call 870-431-5202 and change your plans to Gaston's White River Resort. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time every time.
This is Bruce Stanton, Vice President and General Manager of Pradco Fishing in Fort Smith. Our #1 volume lure out of our 20 fishing brands is the Bobby Garland Baby Shad. We make them by the millions in our facility in Fort Smith, and the Baby Shad is without a doubt the #1 soft plastic crappie lure in the U.S. Fish it on a light jig head or underneath a float, and you'll find it's as productive as live bait. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Bobby Garland Baby Shad.
Chapel Ridge Health and Rehab in Fort Smith is hiring dietary aides, CNAs, and LPNs all shifts. Chapel Ridge Health and Rehab is a newly remodeled 5-star rehab and long-term facility. Full-time positions qualify for benefits such as medical, dental, 401k, and vacation. Chapel Ridge Health and Rehab wants you to become a Chapel Champ team member today. Please apply at Chapel Ridge Health and Rehab, 4623 Rogers Avenue, or fax resume to 478-1014. That's 478-1014.
Hi folks, matchmaker Larry Rath here with a sweetheart of a deal from Rath Auto Resources. I'm on a mission to help you find the nicer, newer car of your dreams. So if the thrill is gone with your old ride, come see the best selection of Rath Road Ready vehicles we've had in over 2 years. Each one hand-picked and reconditioned in our Meineke Car Care Center. Just find the one you love the best and let our friendly, non-commissioned solution specialists do the rest. With discounts up to $4,100 below retail and the highest trade-in values ever, you'll be head over heels for the deals too. Gonna make it work with the car you have? Let us give it the attention it deserves in our Meineke Car Care Center with a free winter-ready inspection, half-off brakes, and buy 3 get 1 free on all tires. But hurry, this deal will be over quicker than your first crush. Start driving better today in a nicer, newer car you love from Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online, rathauto.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Somebody said we've got SEC bias. Deal with it. They're the best.
In the SEC, it just means more.
I know one thing. The SEC just got a little tougher.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Ashley Air. Keeping your home comfortable is what they do best. Trust them with your heating and cooling needs. Go to AshleyAir.com to request service today.
The SEC announced that they are distributing a whopping $777 million to school institutions, 14 universities, over $54 million per school. Guys, this was over $10 million last year, and Tommy, you pointed out that COVID kind of restricting last season had probably something to do with that.
And when it comes to league distributions, it's probably not as affected because the TV money still rolls in. The championship money was probably down a little bit, but when you divide that decline in revenue over 14 schools, but these schools need the money, Clay, because ticket sales with football were off through COVID. Basketball, we know how restricted that was. This number being on the rise is good news for guys like Hunter Yurachek.
Oh, there's no question, and you can look around and see the debt service that some places like Mississippi State have, and they rely on these funds to get well. And I think that when Texas and Oklahoma see those checks, they're going to be scrambling every way they can to get out of that Big 8 and Big 12, whatever you want to call it, get to the SEC.
On that note, guys, do they make it through the end of theirs, or do they come over a year early? I think it was not Mark Burns. I think it was John Durand. It was either John Durand or Andrew Marchand of the New York Post. I think John works for Sports Business Journal. They predicted that they were going to come over a year early. Do they make it?
Well, here's the $64 million deal, which is probably what it's going to be. If it was 54, 55 this year, it'll be 60-something next year. So if you bring in Oklahoma and Texas now in the contract, it does not change with ESPN, then they get a split of that, and Arkansas's check is reduced. So until the contract is rewritten, the SEC doesn't want Oklahoma and Texas to come. They don't want to reduce their check by adding 2 more teams to the total number. Yeah. In other words, the number doesn't change.
Cut more slices, yeah.
Yeah. So, Hunter Yurachek spoke at our sports club, Hogs Illustrated Sports Club this fall, and he mentioned it. No, that's not going to happen unless the contract is rewritten. Mm-hmm. Now, ESPN may want to do that, but they would have to add a significant, $120 million per year.
Yeah, you take $55 million
because
times
you got to, otherwise you're not going to accept that if you're the 14 schools. I mean, can you imagine Texas A&M, what they would scream if they brought in Texas and reduced their cut?
But that is exactly when A&M and Missouri came in. That's exactly what happened for a year or two, and then it caught up. But
they're not going to do that again.
But they learned their lesson,
and
did they?
CBS didn't. That was the thing about CBS. CBS didn't change the contract. They left it the same.
Why would they?
No, I'm just saying that's why there's some underlying theories that once the CBS contract was done, they were going to move on from it.
That doesn't change. The CBS contract. They only have one game.
Yeah.
So adding two teams doesn't give them more games. There's only so many weeks in the season that they have that prime slot.
All their affiliates are still carrying the game anyway.
Exactly.
It's not like
there's
they're
no
not in
revenue.
Houston. Yeah, but where do they make up the money? Just because there's more teams, they're not going to make any more money.
Yeah.
So
it could change because ESPN has more inventory slots, so they will have some better games.
Yeah.
How this is going to be interesting is what the Big Ten does with Fox and CBS. Does CBS try and put the Big Ten, the big dog Big Ten game in that slot? Because it's been at 11 o'clock. The most of the big time, Ohio State, Michigan, you've had Oklahoma and Texas, been 11 o'clock, whatever, that's Big 12. But they put that big marquee Big Ten game at 11 o'clock Central. What they're going to do moving forward.
That's an admission that they're the little sister.
Yes, but now
if they're putting their prime game when people aren't up is an admission that we can't compete with the SEC.
That's exactly
now I'm curious when ESPN, because ESPN's going to put it at probably at a 2:30 or primetime slot, and we'll have to see what ends up shaking out. What game, if they decide with Fox and CBS, if they go with that 2:30 slot and where they match up again, that's going to be interesting. Arkansas, Auburn, Tuesday night. Not only was it a great game if you were in attendance for, but also this. The highest-rated ESPN2 college basketball game since December of 2018. You had almost 2 million viewers during the overtime period for a regular season college basketball battle. Guys, is that more about the number one team in the country? Is it more about it just being a great game? Is Arkansas growing as a national presence? Or is it just a combination of the three and other stuff?
Well, I think what happened is Arkansas got off to a lead, and immediately, it's an upset alert. And, I mean, I didn't see any upset alerts come across the screen. They may have. But it was clear that this was a night when number one was going down. And now, it could have been a different result. I mean, when you're talking about an overtime game, the other team could have won. But it was compelling basketball for non-Arkansas, non-Auburn fans. Everybody wants to see number one go down. And then you've got one added little caveat. Bruce Pearl is considered the bad guy. He's been caught cheating. He's lost his job at Tennessee. He served suspension. There was a wish for their team to lose. And, there's that thought when Calipari's on the ropes, right? And, you'll
outside
get
of their fan bases,
correct.
No one roots for those guys.
Has Pearl surpassed Cal, or is he close, or is Cal still the most hated coach in this league?
No, Cal's the most hated. Yeah,
Who's
Kentucky.
Who's the bigger cheater, though? That's still the debate.
Is it Wade?
Which one is the bigger cheater, and is Will Wade caught him?
See, I'm not sure. I'm not sure that Kentucky's cheating right now. And I mean, it's
of course they are.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they have to. Is what I'm getting at.
Now with NIL, all the rules that have been broken are now legal.
Yeah,
it's like we used to drive 65, or used to drive 70 in a 65. Now we're driving 80 in a 75. We just changed the rules. The old way of doing business is now legal in Kentucky.
There's no doubt that they cheated at UMass in Memphis because they got caught.
Yeah.
They vacated titles, right?
Yeah.
There was something with
vacated
but
Final
he's changed
Fours, whatever
his
you want to
ways
call
in
it.
Kentucky. I mean,
That was what it was funny. Matt Jones was parading how Cal was cheating when he was at Memphis, and then he comes over as the Kentucky sports radio host, and he's just changed his ways. Cal's not cheating now that he's the head coach of Kentucky.
Well, the arrogant Kentucky fan, you don't have to cheat. We're Kentucky, That's always their viewpoint.
Yeah, same with Alabama football. Speaking of Alabama football, Zach Menberger, former LSU Tigers quarterback, is apparently now an offensive analyst on Bama's staff, which I've found interesting, even if it's going for a hated rival. Guys, that just shows that you want to, at least for a year. I don't know if you want to last more than that because the cycle's ever going, but you want to learn from Nick Saban in any capacity possible, and it just makes you that. Coaching in Alabama is like getting an Ivy League law school degree. You're going to get instantaneously hired somewhere else, assuming you have a good recommendation and you aren't just a complete screw up at the year that you were spending there.
Hey, it's that's a good correlation or analysis. I mean, I think you're right.
I agree with Clay. I'm not sure where you were going with that. So
great additions, guys.
Those broadcasting lessons are paying off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Chris Kiffin, brother of Lane Kiffin, is apparently going back to the Cleveland Browns. First off, did you know Lane had a brother? Because I didn't. I didn't see this.
Yeah.
He's
been in coaching a while. I mean,
where was he previously?
He's in the NFL.
NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that he was
defensive
at
line
Ole Miss?
coach.
I didn't know. I don't know where he was, but I did know he had a. Because
I tell
you, I know that when they've talked about Monty in the past, he's come up in those conversations more so than with Lane.
I've only heard about Monty's son Lane. Maybe I just haven't been
he's
paying
the more
attention.
high profile. I mean, he's had the head coaching job.
Chris not as obnoxious and.
I don't. Can you be as obnoxious as Lane Kiffin? I don't think that's possible. But
Todd, just think about this. How many assistant coaches have you heard of in the NFL? That's not on your radar.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's not what we cover.
Better way of looking at it.
And when you watch an NFL game, do they talk about assistant coaches? They'll talk about coordinators. There's never going to be a mention of him, so that's why you're not aware of it. It's not your fault. It's just not in. It's just not in your your element. So you would have to be covering one of those teams to know. Can you tell me who the defensive line coach is with the Dallas Cowboys? I doubt you can.
Defensive line coach of the Dallas Cowboys. No, I cannot. I'll tell you.
No, I mean you can't tell me any of the defensive line coaches across the NFL. So I'm not saying you should either.
Different.
That's just not in your. That's not in something we cover.
Yeah, it's a little different. I can name a couple of assistant coaches, non-coordinators in the SEC, but yeah, the NFL. Good luck, because I'm not getting them. All right, so as we close down here on our SEC update, 27 SEC players in the upcoming Super Bowl, including Joe Burrow and Matthew Stafford. Pretty incredible. It's real.
Brandon Allen.
Allen. Can't forget about the backup quarterback for the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah. All right, that's our SEC update. It's brought to you by Ashley Air. Proud sponsors of Razorback Athletics is Freeberry. That means you get a free furnace when you purchase a qualifying system from Ashley Air. And until the end of the month, no down payment, no interest on your financing for 72 months, and the Ashley Air Quality Assurance Guarantee, their 12-year parts and labor warranty. Get a free furnace when you purchase a new system from Ashley Air. Just go to AshleyAir.com to schedule your appointment today. That's AshleyAir.com.
Clay, Tommy was saying chili earlier was at his top of his list for Super Bowl foods. Is there something that you...
That's
what we do almost every time.
Everyone's Super Bowl menu includes chili somewhere on the smorgasbord.
Because you can make it, and it's... it's ready for 2 hours.
Yeah, and
so anybody can eat it when they want to.
You can do chili cheese nachos, chili dogs, chili burgers. You can do
chili dog,
Frito chili
man.
pie. You can do. I mean, there's just chili's like the universal. It's the glue guy. It's kind of like the glue guy. You can do anything with it.
Yeah, I make my chili with fresh garlic and fresh jalapeno peppers.
Ooh. That'll have some kick to it then. Good.
Not too much kick. You take the seeds out. It's just just a little bit of heat.
My dad
good
makes
flavor.
Good deer chili and good chili. He's just he likes to take a crack at it a couple different ways, and it's always good when he ends up making it. So hopefully we'll get some of that at some point. His birthday's coming up this month.
Are you a chili guy? You ever made a pot of chili? Is that in your wheelhouse?
Once. I'm so basic during the week.
He's opening a can of Wolf brand.
Yeah. Hormel. Yeah.
I've done it once. I stick to my elements: smoothie during lunch and chicken during dinner during the week. All right, for Tommy, Clay, and Drew, I'm Ty. Everyone have a great Super Bowl weekend. Reminder, Arkansas, Bama, pregame beginning at 10:30 tomorrow.
Ashley Air is a proud sponsor of Razorback Athletics. Heat up your home with a free furnace when you purchase a qualifying new system from Ashley Air. And till February 28th. Get no down payment, no interest for 72 months on qualifying systems. And the Ashley Air Quality Assurance Guarantee. Their 12-year